I think we should applaud that. Thank you. I also want to acknowledge our friends coming from outside of Ghana. I understand there are a few here. Welcome to our beautiful country. I find it a pleasure to join all of you today at the 14th Annual International Tax Conference. Greetings from His Excellency the President, John Dramani Mahama, who also congratulates the Institute on its work to strengthen Ghana's fiscal governance. Through your conferences, examinations, and engagement with policymakers, you have helped shape public discourse on one of the most important pillars of national development. Worldwide, governments are redesigning tax systems to respond to unprecedented economic, technological, and geopolitical changes, and the international tax landscape itself is also evolving rapidly. Governments must finance infrastructure, education, healthcare, climate adaptation, social protection, and national security while maintaining fiscal sustainability. We need a tax system that raises sufficient revenue, encourages investment, promotes voluntary compliance, supports businesses, and sustains the confidence of the Ghanaian people. Ladies and gentlemen, this conference is an opportunity to address those objectives. This is because a system that taxpayers understand and can navigate is also more likely to encourage compliance and strengthen our revenue base. This principle has guided government's approach to tax reform. Last year, we abolished taxes that had become burdensome. These measures were intended to ease pressure on households and businesses while creating a simpler and more balanced tax environment. This has been followed by a significant reform of the VAT system through the Value Added Tax Act 2025, which took effect in January this year and includes substantial changes. Distinguished guests, tax reform also requires good administration, better use of technology and data, and a relationship with taxpayers based on enforcement, service, and trust. Ghana is therefore continuing to digitize tax administration. Our VAT reforms are being supported by measures including improved systems for taxing cross-border transactions on digital platforms and the introduction of fiscal electronic devices to strengthen compliance and monitoring. We are also undertaking a broader review of Ghana's core tax legislation to simplify compliance, improve equity and competitiveness, and ensure that our tax laws keep pace with the changing economy. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, government and the Ghana Revenue Authority cannot achieve these objectives alone. Tax professionals occupy an important position between the state and the taxpayer. You interpret legislation, advise individuals and businesses, help taxpayers meet their obligations, and bring professional experience to the development of tax policy. That role becomes even more important as we work to bring more economic activity into the tax system. Expanding the tax base requires creating practical ways for more individuals and businesses to participate in the tax system, particularly within the informal economy. Broadening the tax state also raises an important question of trust. People are more willing to comply when they believe that the system is fair, when the rules are clear and consistently applied, when they can deal with the tax authorities without unnecessary difficulty, and when public resources are managed responsibly. That is why successful tax administration must also be measured by the level of voluntary compliance we can achieve. The GRA must therefore continue improving taxpayer education, consultation, and service delivery. Tax professionals must help their clients understand and meet legitimate obligations, and government must continue working to ensure that the tax system deserves the confidence we ask taxpayers to place in it. Ladies and gentlemen, we should also anticipate international changes. Digital commerce and complex international transactions are transforming where economic value is generated. At the same time, the rules governing international taxation are themselves being contested and reshaped. Ghana must participate actively in these discussions and continue working with other African countries to protect our interests. We must also develop the technical expertise required to respond to new forms of economic activity, and this is another important role for the Chartered Institute of Taxation. Your research and engagement with government, academia, and private sector can help Ghana anticipate emerging challenges and develop appropriate responses. I also encourage the Institute to deepen its work on tax education. Ideally, improving tax literacy should begin before somebody receives their first assessment from the GRA. Ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to the recommendations that will emerge from this conference. I hope they will be practical and ambitious, and that they will contribute to the ongoing work of building a solid tax system. The interests of government and taxpayers need not be at odds. We will all benefit from a system that is predictable and fair, reward platforms, and the introduction of fiscal electronic devices to strengthen compliance and monitoring. We are also undertaking a broader review of Ghana's core tax legislation to simplify compliance, improve equity and competitiveness, and ensure that our tax laws keep pace with the changing economy. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, government and the Ghana Revenue Authority cannot achieve these objectives alone. Tax professionals occupy an important position between the state and the taxpayer. You interpret legislation, advise individuals and businesses, help taxpayers meet their obligations, and bring professional experience to the development of tax policy. That role becomes even more important as we work to bring more economic activity into the tax system. Expanding the tax base requires creating practical ways for more individuals and businesses to participate in the tax system, particularly within the informal economy. Broadening the tax state also raises an important question of trust. People are more willing to comply when they believe that the system is fair, when the rules are clear and consistently applied, when they can deal with the tax authorities without unnecessary difficulty, and when public resources are managed responsibly. That is why successful tax administration must also be measured by the level of voluntary compliance we can achieve. The GRA must therefore continue improving taxpayer education, consultation, and service delivery. Tax professionals must help their clients understand and meet legitimate obligations, and government must continue working to ensure that the tax system deserves the confidence we ask taxpayers to place in it. Ladies and gentlemen, we should also anticipate international changes. Digital commerce and complex international transactions are transforming where economic value is generated. At the same time, the rules governing international taxation are themselves being contested and reshaped. Ghana must participate actively in these discussions and continue working with other African countries to protect our interests. We must also develop the technical expertise required to respond to new forms of economic activity, and this is another important role for the Chartered Institute of Taxation. Your research and engagement with government, academia, and private sector can help Ghana anticipate emerging challenges and develop appropriate responses. I also encourage the Institute to deepen its work on tax education. Ideally, improving tax literacy should begin before somebody receives their first assessment from the GRA. Ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to the recommendations that will emerge from this conference. I hope they will be practical and ambitious, and that they will contribute to the ongoing work of building a solid tax system. The interests of government and taxpayers need not be at odds. We will all benefit from a system that is predictable and fair, rewards compliance, deals firmly with deliberate evasion, and provides the resources needed to invest in our country. I congratulate the Institute on organizing this conference, and I want to thank you for your continued contribution to Ghana's fiscal development. I wish you very, very fruitful deliberations, and I want to thank you for your attention, and may God bless our beautiful country, Ghana. Thank you very much.
Oh my, eno ara ne ye hia abusu na so nyakopon abie kwan wiemu da ho nsuo ana egugu kakra nenso adwuma ekoso bibia edadin. We are live on TVXYZ and Power 7.9 FM. Inside Politics Jumedi Suni fi sabre ya nkopem 6 p.m. bebo ka na hye no so se sa akwanya iso ne ye befa na ensema hodo a etwagu o man Ghana mu ade di na se efata se won so betimi anya ho ntiase na enhyehye ya mpanifo eye ade abu o man no ensema hodo nso a ekoso no emu nchemu ese na efata na yegyine ba bedi ho nkomo enne se de da na da ye no nti yobabo mode ne wakan ye ho ne adi dwumadie di abom ye nyina yakoso akyekyere na oman Ghana akoso afa ne tema pa bi ede efra uko Facebook ayem platforms no ho at Power 979 FM TVXYZ ubenyan na afei wahwe dwumadie ne bi uko piem ewo YouTube ye XYZ broadcaster ne ho so wabomode atimi age brahwe dwumadie ne bi ekoso no fo adwenkyere bi ebeba otirim ne fo ato ase na ye nyina ye nkoso moa entan hye pampanifo eye ana adwenkyere bi a nsema hodo ebekoso no nso de beto ase no fato na mrepem no ye bekenkan sensem no nyina na ye de aboa dwumadie enkoso okọ MCR Mr. Raf Jampo director ho Abbas ho Imano Kisi ene eye Imano Neti panifoi ana ahye TV ni so de ama abri ni don bi ase beye na nso betimi agebre na wahwe dwumadie bi Lizzy ana ye makeup ofidie imu Prince of Osu ene Kofi Asante na ebegina cameras na chi na ne den so omatwa dwumadie we na omode asom Mr. Kelvin Asante one ne me producer papa wabomode ahye dwumadie nyina samen so membra na me medi hu chia me fenso mabusia midi de enke Obrempong the grassroots president okwapeman kanea tutu akuapem de hye minya tena sese pe na wahye ne so say ye no kre ye pepepe yo ye yedie eye kwampa biara o man Ghana bekoso afa ne ntema pa bi de fra se be ye na wotemamuni ana se wo Ghana ni so mfaso die bi ebeba so no wonso wonsa ebetimi aka wo de Nyankopon enhyira wa enya de ame enke Obrempong mepene da before I make my stories no so no immigration of Ghana immigration no mene mo ntokwa uhwe bi wo immigration officer afre on penifo na muntie because emre ekwa anim no sesei me di eja eba begumu chem ne yekoso o man Ghana na enya nika bieu foreigners afa kwati kwan so yen African countries bi ebinum abakrom afa kwati kwan so eton nubone eton niema wo de nam shops wo de nam patam wo se saa eduro wei wono mo a wohoro akoma ho na egugu bottle mu na wo mo ton FDA approval ni hu bibia ni hu immigration. Where are those people from? Immigration officers. Maduma no mo ye ne say border no so den na asi wo ho. Our land borders no den na asi wo ho. One more free other neighboring countries are Niger for pa na se se omo dos wo kromu a papers bia nkuto obia. What is happening there? Twankwara egu your friend saying Achimota mall anim ho Accra mall West mall baby ani petroki bia this emofra wo free Ghana ha wo matie gu traffic light asia wo ma said as say wo nyina ton ayiwasum wo bedu traffic asen nkwala nketenkete 6 7 8 years ayiwasum no mo di immigration officers madwuma ne yes then madwuma ne saying what are you doing to curb these situations? Ankwara ne nam ho a ye omo twi kro omo ntibi omo mfiri kro mu ha omo fa hin ne be wura kro mu sa. What is happening to our land borders? Migration ne mpedifo am ye land borders and what is happening there? Omo mpedi John Dramani mama wa ye na afam di awie watoto mo de mo atoto bia ye wasam mo kro no ho ban. What is happening? And I want them crying. Chrome patam ahodoa. Sa Niger for any other African countries. Omo need document. Oma bobe. Oma yema. Ebi to enubone the way ufa Obama and I ufa Obama and I ufa Obama. Womo de nam ye nkurase ne ye mpatemu ton kum krofo emen krofo yare ahodoa and immigration officers say wo Chrome amaye di immigration penny and wan po mo mfa mame. Na mi momu nkyere ne say na dwuma no ebia na wura ye afibi foreigners wura kro yi mododo and ehu ade mo man Ghana kwan bone so a foreigners ewura kro yi mu no ehu mo set up the very next time mehwehwe din akasa ba betena meso jade agu mu chem taxpayers money na ye tua no it is a go waste. Ye de adwuma e de ma wa you don't have to sleep on the job. Some of us yam pene mamo. Eti ene makani general de afa but the next time ameba no na me kuta immigration Ghana immigration penny meba betwi mo akwagu ho. Wone wo deputy penifo a wo nyina mehwehwe mu din yie abetwi mo akoyaya gumi ho akansem akase atomo so because ye mu bi mo de life ye to nsaneyam. Iti majuma no muntimi ya na ya bo ma pani John Dramani ma mane say bia immigration pani say adwuma na wo de ama no eso sene no ntoma pani sesa no na ye borders no wo muntimi nyina ho na obi wura wo man nim no nguta nkrata ese na fata so obeba Ghana ha wo masini kwan eno ti ne de makoto borders na no. You are sleeping on your job. The last time na obi atse this foreigners ni bi okuta sa bottle na nsuo bi wo mu no wo de gu take away rubber sukra na etete na otoma Ghana for nom say e wohoro koma ho. And some of them because say omo fa bibia serious intinu womo beje sa your friend say enuro we no womo nom de beti na kidney issue cancer ya de wa hodo a droben ye betima no mo krom ho a FDA enya we enso ye jai foreigners mo ton ensu bone say eye aduro e wohoro akoma ho. The very next time I'm about a few Wednesday wake up in Friday me just seminar to but me wonu nsisanye bia next time me ba me di janeba and I'll come with videos to show the whole world, to show Ghana say immigration for you are sleeping on your job. I will come and give you that fire. Mo fra no mo gina lord kwan no no e de you asum gina ho no they should move from there. They should go back to their country. They have no business living in Ghana. And so some mu by force Jessica Mufra we Jose wa obaka so mam wadwuma say ye mama and mo go so ti wo hwe omo ba next time be ye ja abuja me anto dwuma no so mfa ma wa ha na afi and then some ahodo a ye hia na ye di ho nkomo na aboa no man Ghana akoso afa ne ntema pafira ne ye mo so na ye nko nanim wiki mu nyina de kamia ye say asem bi a obete no gold board coming from the minority. Our leader, Honorable Alexander Fenyo Marken, our Noasa MP, Edema a futu for Ofa Winnie Bannon and Patemwa, woman of me a futu for na, or Mumra Sebejani, and Alexander Fenyo Marken. No, as someone that Alexander Fenyo Marken, Kojo Pong Kroma, Abeno Sea Sari, our no, and I know Deputy Minister for Finance, or Brana Ken. Nanaya kuntum kunko foriata wanope any only finance minister says say wo man Ghana wadwane afiri krom ha say wadi ade awie but ontimi nya accountable to his stewardship into wadwane akwotena America kwaje nkrata say krowe o mamu bio. These people adenam gold board aboka gold board dwumadi a wodi no ebo man Ghana kadodo abusa yenko ne yenko hwe Honorable Alexander Fenyo Marken and the minority press conference I want ye and the Kasafa gold board in sense me ho.
The losses generated by gold board's own purchasing, pricing, and sales decision can no longer sit on the bank's books while gold board enjoys the credit. What we are witnessing is a disingenuous accounting arrangement, clean on the surface, dirty in substance, and it is ordinary Ghanaian taxpayer who is left carrying the risk. That ends today. We are asking straightforward questions and we expect straightforward answers. Who are the off-takers? Why were sales discounted? And why is the mandate to trade gold on the country's behalf producing losses the country was never told about? Now, let me deal with the numbers Ghana cannot ignore. The IMF tells us that 17% of the value of every ounce of gold sold by the Bank of Ghana simply disappeared. It vanished into the gap between the rates paid to miners and the rate used for the books. Add the fees paid to the middlemen. Add the discounts handed to off-takers. This is not rounding error. This is not teething trouble. This is a structural bleeding of our national purse. And it was not the opposition that found it. I repeat, It was the IMF's own economists, and the government has accepted. Now look at what this bleeding has done to our central bank. By the fund's own numbers, the Bank of Ghana's equity stood at negative 93.8 billion cedis at the end of last year, negative 6.7% of GDP. Our central bank is technically bankrupt, therefore. And the single biggest driver of that collapse in the 2025 was gold operations, Gold Board. Gold Board's own domain, 22 billion cedis. That's equivalent of the 1.7 billion US dollars in 1 year alone. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, let's call it what it is. These losses are not bad luck. You don't trade in gold and make losses. They are not a difficult market. They expose the crass incompetence of Gold Board's management and misaligned policy of the government. No serious institution loses this much money by accident. This is what happens when an untouchable few are handed the nation's gold with no one watching and no one willing to ask questions. Ghanaians have already sacrificed much to keep this economy standing. We tighten our belt for the sake of stability. That is why it is so painful to watch this scheme quietly give away sums that will make any right-thinking citizens weep. We did not endure hardship so that billions could vanish into unexplained spread and unnamed off-takers. Let us be honest about what $1.7 billion actually means. It is hospitals that will not be built. It is needless maternal death that would not be prevented because the theaters, the blood banks, and the trained hands that could have saved a mother in labor were never funded. It is schools that will not be built. It is poor roads that will not be constructed. IMF has already told the country where this loss comes from. In its own words, the losses, quote, are a combination of service and asset fees paid to Gold Board, discount on gold sold to off-takers, into bracket exporters, and most importantly, exchange rate losses from the spread between Forex Bureau rate paid to purchase gold and the city reference rate used for BOG accounting, end quote. This can be found in paragraph 13 of the IMF report. This is not our characterization. That is the IMF's. And those involved in fact check can check. So here is a question Gold Board must answer. If every one of those service fees and asset fees were collected and kept, why should the losses that came bundled with earning them belong to someone else? You do not get to keep the fees and disown the cost. This is not accounting. That is convenience. And who exactly are these off-takers Gold Board sold discounted gold to? The country deserves an answer. Gold Board is happy to take credit for the foreign exchange it claims to have generated, but it goes quiet the moment we ask about the very trade that discounted sales, the fee arrangement that produced that forex in the first place. You cannot claim the upside of a trade and disown its downside.
And Fenyo Mike Markin, a minority leader, Elmer Sebejuma, or that MPP Fuano, on one of Sanya member of parliament for the good people of Ifutu. Now, what this answer me on the cheetah for a Jinawa minority for 1 year press conference now or the to Gold Board Aboka and a Gold Board Aboka. Oko IMF report now what the Abano Kranwa Gold Board Aboka. Way ana penny pa our the Ghana Gold Board ano. Yeah, Sammy Jemfi Esquire. What it is answer me no se debi. And to the way, so what tenasi di na se wobika ebeye no kre. Nanka na juma oye se Gold Board penny ene se de why busy. Ehwe se wo bebo modern na se de obetina so yi $1 ni cedi no cedi na hoden agina so na economy na tem din na ɔman no niema ekoso ye wo mu no a anka onya saa mmerɛ no na mmom ekwan a Alexander Afenyomakin the minority leader wɔkɔ na ɔka ekabo e gold board no sɛ wanyi na no a anya wɔmbɛka sɛ yɛ no kora nti anada yi the government accountability series a no kɔ e wa bankesie mu no Sami Jamfi Esquire CEO Edema Ghana Gold Board ekopie so ana wɔka sɛ sa ekatwitwiridie $214 million, 22 billion Ghana cedis. Any sema ho do Afenyomakin mo edi atoma no eka se gold board aboka no. Or there Afenyomakin say IMF reporter wono egina so say ama gold board aboka no. Won famra no meto abonti na gold board kra no about 2025 and yet 2024. Ana ebaya yen konko tie Sami Jamfi Esquire wono panipa wada Ghana Gold Board ano enadai wo government accountability series no so response a oginam edema the minority leader honorable Alexander Afenyomakin yeba yebeto adwumedi nso ama.
The PMMC or Gold Board was only a buying agent under the domestic gold purchase program. Its role ended at buying gold. It had no role in selling gold or signing offtake agreements. Therefore, it could not determine offtake discounts. It must, however, be noted that offtake discounts are a standard feature of gold doré trades. The BOG did extremely well in 2025 in reducing offtake discounts from as high as 2.2% in 2024 under the MPP to 1.2% in 2025. This fact can be verified by anyone from the BOG, and this discounts, offtake discounts, cannot by any stretch of imagination be the reason for reported losses. Because discounts are a standard feature for particularly the sale of doré gold, raw gold, anywhere in the world. You sell gold, if you're selling gold in its raw form, and even in its refined form, there is a discount. And you don't see that losses are as a result of that, unless you can show that the discounts were unreasonably high and not in conformity with industry practice. The Afenyomakin says that the Gold Board has sold gold and made losses, and that no one should sell gold and make losses. When the tone gold boka says those who recorded $400 million loss under domestic gold purchase program in 2024, according to the IMF they are quoting. And this is also coming from the same people under whose tenure another state institution, MEF, implemented the gold purchase program and recorded losses to the tune of over $90 million. Today, they want to give us lectures on gold trading. Ladies and gentlemen, I have news for them. We will not take moral lessons from the brothel. Then number two, they say, why has the Bank of Ghana pulled out of financing the Gold Board if Gold Board is not making losses? Number one, the Bank of Ghana has not pulled out from anything. The MPP government decided that it will run a program called Domestic Gold Purchase Program, which will be managed by the Bank of Ghana. And they designed that program in a certain way, which I will talk about it. President Mahama promised to reset Ghana, including the gold trade sector. And his reset is the Gold Board. The act has been passed and the Gold Board is ready for takeoff. And so this new Gold Board model as envisioned under the Gold Board Act is not anchored on Bank of Ghana financing Gold Board. The Gold Board has been given the powers under Section 18 of the Gold Board Act by Parliament to raise money for itself from the financial markets. And so if the Gold Board wants to assert that statutory mandate, and for that matter, the Bank of Ghana has to end what it was doing under the Domestic Gold Purchase Program, you don't look at that and say, oh, that means Gold Board was doing something wrong. I can tell you that as we speak, the IMF and the Bank of Ghana are all engaging Gold Board that they still want to be our fiscal agents under the Gold Board model, where they will be raising money for us as an intermediary. It is the Gold Board that is rather saying, no, we will do it ourselves. So that claim is not true. And then you hear him say that, oh, Gold Board was being paid some fees, and it is because of the noise they made that the fees were reduced. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I brought evidence here, and if you need the evidence, I'll give it to you. That evidence is a letter dated October 29, 2025, way before the MPP ever held a press conference on Gold Board or Domestic Gold Purchase Program in 2025. Because the first press conference they held in the aftermath of the IMF report on domestic goods purchase program was in December. If you recall, we were celebrating Christmas at the time, December 2025. But by October 29, 2025, the Gold Board and Bank of Ghana, through negotiations, had reduced the fees to 0.6. Does that mean there was something wrong? No. What it meant was that the Gold Board was more efficient in aggregating good, that it didn't need 0.75%. We conceded upon request by Bank of Ghana that we could do with little and still achieve better results. And number two, the quantity of good we're buying had gone up and good prices have skyrocketed. And therefore, even if we reduce our fees, we knew that we could still cater for ourselves. So that was an act of patriotism and not because of the noise of a rabble-rouser. Now, they say, oh, Gold Board takes credit for the upside of the domestic gold purchase program, but the Gold Board does not take the blame for the downside. So we are being double standard. The Gold Board has not taken any credit for any upside of any domestic gold purchase program. We are saying that President Mohammed's vision in establishing the Gold Board, even though we did not begin the full implementation of that mandate in 2025, we were able to contribute substantially to the volume of gold that we aggregated as buying agent for the Bank of Ghana in ways that the PMMC, our antecedent, could never do and never did. And that was because of the effective aggregation system, the competitive pricing, and the other measures we introduced in 2025. And so we talk about the quantum of gold we're able to buy because of how we were able to plug leakages, you know, intensify the fight against smuggling, reduce gold that was going out through informal channels and all that. That is what we talk about. And so let them get the facts correct. Then they talk about what commercial risk was Gold Board bearing under the domestic gold purchase program. Ladies and gentlemen, is it easy to be giving 133 billion Ghana cedis in a year, cash, bank transfer money, to buy gold in the market and not burn 1 cedi of that? Can our former board chairman of ECG, Afenyo Maken, under whose tenure in 2024 the ECG recorded a loss of 8.2 billion, boast of such competence? The answer, I believe, should be obvious. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what is the Gold Board's official position on this issue of domestic gold purchase program losses? Because somebody may get the impression that because we are defending ourselves against a lie peddled against us, then it means that we are saying, oh, Bank of Ghana is to blame, or we are throwing Bank of Ghana under the bus. No, that is not the case. The position of the Gold Board has been stated by my good self, my humble self, time without number, that the losses recorded by the Bank of Ghana under the domestic gold purchase program since inception, not just in 2025, is not because of mismanagement or incompetence by the current managers, but those losses are a product of policy design. It was the MPP that designed the domestic gold purchase program that way, that they will not pursue profits, but they will pursue foreign exchange, because at the time they had no access to the capital market to borrow on the Eurobond market and bring in dollars to show up, you know, the currency. So they chose foreign exchange over profit by policy design. And that is why since 2021 that program never made profit. And that is why they announced in the year 2022 November that effective January 2023 they were going to buy gold at spot prices. It was the MPP that introduced spot gold purchases in Ghana. And I dare anybody to challenge me. Because before 2023, gold was bought by private individuals, foreigners and locals, and they bought it between 1% discount to 2% discount. But in desperation for gold, the then government decided that we will buy gold at spot price. And that is contained in this report by Graphic Online, dated November 28, 2022, and attributed to the then Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, who announced the policy. Who buys gold at spot price and yet seeks profit? So that was their policy design. It was not for profit, and that is why they never made profit. But as they made losses in the past under they will pay good for oil and all that, Ghanaians did not see any commensurate economic benefits. What we are saying is that in the case of the Bank of Ghana, yes, the loss may be bigger because according to the IMF, the program was scaled up, it was expanded. Not because somebody stole money or somebody was incompetent. But in this case, you see measurable, economic benefits. Unprecedented currency appreciation of 41%, which led to inflation coming down for 12 consecutive months. You saw a drop in the public debt by more than 100 billion Ghana cedis and significant savings to the government. That is what we are saying, that this was the price the Bank of Ghana had to pay under this program, poorly designed by the SWAL government for the stability we enjoy. We are not saying that somebody at the Bank of Ghana has done anything wrong. So let's get that clear.
Ijamfi Esquire, a chief executive officer at the Ghana Gold Board. It's a Ghana yen gold, ye good year, friendly gold, no, ye to no. Papa and a dan one wash a baby, wood to the afa. I was Sir Sammy Jamfi Esquire, Ghana Gold Board, etimi hunu, na fei, usika a wash and a gold nebuono, on such me can with the SAPP. Somewhere, Honorable Alexander Fenyo Markin. Ntura wodoɔ nsɛm ahodoɔ a wɔkaeɛ ɛde gu gold board ho fi ana gold board eboka gold board lose sika 22 billion Ghana cedis wo lose sika 214 million dollars o lose sika nti ɛhɛ ɔman no ɛno ana abrante animonyamfo yi ɔhwɛdin no se dabi nsɛm a Alexander Fenyo Markin efutufoɔ MP emra se bedwani ɔka nyina ya atoro ehuruduhura dasɛm oni bibi biara ode back those claims where as a political blackmail I say yentete no yentwitwa ntromfe ngu ni so yema Ghana fo nyina ngu se na adwuma wo ye na nya de wo ye adwuma pa na so busia me na wo de ka sei senye gold board adaroma His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama ebetena so pe no ye nhye ne se dabi e wo se yen gold no wo man Ghana te so mfaso I was say Ghana so nya ne fair share e wo gold no if it's a gold ni free Ghana na kwabro chimemu na dan na gold dodo na fa kuntuna ase e kwabro chima individuals koton no magis kana gu mu botom said the no adaya na the general overseer of the action Chapel International Archbishop Nicola Duncan Williams eka say kwan bi otu ye ekodu kurobe so na esikafo ne amampanifo wo ho ene ne to nsadidi na omo kire say wo MPP mremu no ekwan ye omo fa so fa kuntuna sinya gold ahodo edi free o man Ghana ba wo mukuro mu no na edroso ye pa esene ne omo to no legally ana de omo fa no kwampa so ebeto ye nemom omampani John Dramani Mahama ba ye a gold board betina ase no sa illegal means a omo fa so nya gold free o man Ghana no wo mu nya biewu se wontimi fa kuntuna se emma o man Ghana ha emme fa gold mfenko ensi efi se Sammy Jamfi Esquire any gold board mpenifo mo ye adwuma ho the Accra mayor Kwame Menka mpenifo wodo mo ka Sammy Jamfi ho na wo mo ye gold board adwuma no wo ma ye nsese ya sabre de sekurom ha said the gold board mra ne se no wo wankasa wo gold na watu afiri wo mpa sekura no a e wo se wo de koma gold board no ode usika ma wo ni wo kwan say will be free in quantum crow UK, America, any part of the world. Abe uro maimu. Was a mina gold near me the intimikoshia na matwamano. Me bacho e banisani e chewa emrani ubenya. What on gold e wo kwamboneso. Eti wo ura ne kasano Sammy Jamfi kasano wo kire say gold board ba ye no. Any ni kwanya wafa so di dwuma dia sika abetena wo man Ghana mu ano e ka ho bi ana sabre se wo hwe cedi ni dollar rate na agina brane na obia etimi didwa onya ne mfaso di free so e ka ho bi na economy atem din a wo beti den time no na nadan kwakufu ado ne Alhaji Mahmoud ba o miamira so said the inflation baby ekodu yi 54%. Anda na nadan kwakufu ado ene Alhaji Mahmoud Baomia eka ne yede no na Ghana ye ton ye hu ne ma nyina akora no a ye ntimi fa sika no ntua sa aka ne nwie anda na nadan kwakufu ado ene Alhaji Mahmoud Baomia but ene amene wo de kasai say Ghana sika no ye de mu 45% pe na atua ye yaka na ye wo 55% no ye wo man ne dia a eti kuro yi mu and the MPP na ye sika nyina ntimi ntu o man ne ka e ka on be burugu wo ye breaking it down akofom na wate ase no wahunu say ayamamuo pa ane ye hwehwe na aboa na o man na fa ne ntama pa bi de fra. And yeah, few people be they think that this country belongs to them. It's a baby or mine no baba show mo 7 in your mope and am do mine Ghana be ye. One would do mine sika no more for mine japade de show mo kom botom. Alexander Fenyomaken. And yame nwanwa na the way Sami Jamfia Square. What to be a what dear man me say me share video na mani age. Because ensure a tire poncheni and waji war. Alexander Fenyomaken yemra sebedwani. Se God board make losses a yemra sebedwam na mobeto nsafre no say Sami bra begina mra sebedwam na prove it with document say wo moka ye but wonye ye. Nemo you are resorting to the media. 2 minutes be an Alexander Fenyomaken to Peace FM. Not the other media houses. No propagating and throw blatant lies are only any material to substantiate those claims. But as usual, that is the modus operandi of the MPP. Yande omo nye fact ni name and throw yanko tumfu tromfembu Ghana fwani se gold board ye boka gold board emma wo mine hwiri sika ye de ma gold board no through Bank of Ghana no se sika ni nyina ayira gold board is making losses. Alexander Fenyomaken yame nwanwa bepe mo ne said the good people of Efutu still wamu wogidie wa Alexander Fenyomaken mutu abadema no. The good people of Winneba Efutu then ekosu Efutu ekosu Winneba. You people still think and believe sir somebody like Alexander Fenyomaken can do something better for the betterment of Efutu. Dia sikabi no opia di guho then o si ewo Efutu then pan wo ye na sa animguase wo ya mu MP Alexander Fenyomaken o yemra sebedwani a wo ye lawyer a wo temra ni mrase onim all the proceedings of parliament say aban adwuma bi edi ni dwuma no oni ni yi a de be ya no se ye beto nsafren se bramra sebedwam se monti bibiase a ministers ne ye adwuma monti bibiase a moto nsafren no mo move motion no ye pese minister we ba Honorable Dr. Atuforsen, one man met him Sikawe, what the Yaday, young friend Honorable Dr. Eric Opoku, Food and Agric Minister, one man no match Remu, Sasikawe, Fahe, and now then what the yet. At then a gold board MPP for to say another minority in parliament as to say gold board worker, Namon Fre gold board, Penny, Sami Jamfi, and Fanem Ramna Sebedjam say. Brana betire na ye document aye kutani efi IMF efi WTE efi RJF efi anywhere my intercept say e ka abani. But Alexander Fenyomaken and a member of parliament of his status will just wake up and go to media houses and talk without fact and evidence, and you will have some presenters, senior presenters backing him to propagate lies. God board Jumedia AD na ebua no my Ghana afa ntoma pa bi de afra no. The MPP doesn't want it. Simple. Se obehwa o mampani John Dramani mama big push or the buy or construct over 2,000 kilometers of road across the 16 regions of Ghana. Ebin si kromada the MPP be attack here. Led by Alexander Fenyomaken and a big push no krano so source no doso and I say but afede from Yemi said before say so source na free mu ayira. Why are they quiet? Enti say you want to say and I'm God board so 1 year 7 months ni a omampani John Dramani Mahama any NDC aban betina benye mu bieu so mu di o man Ghana so no 1 year 7 months ni wo mu call bond market ye a history in the first time e wo man Ghana ha this year wo man Ghana abaya wabɛtena so a wɔde mfie baako bosome nwɔtwe abu ɔman Ghana biribi akɔ so kama wɔbreko a ɔnkɔ aburokyire ɔnkɔ bond market ɛnkɔgye loan ɛnkɔgye bond ɛnkɔgye sika biya mai sɛ wakɔbɔ besia de Ghana din akɔ no ɛyɛ ɔmampani John Dramani Mahama ɛne NDC aban but me ne wɔka sɛ hwɛ mpontu nnwuma the big push project a movie around ɛyɛ $10 billion the big push project kwan ahodo a yɛyɛ ma wo mpatam a sɛ wopie na wohwɛ wo mpatam a wo lord kwan so a machines si wo mo yɛ no this money was generated here in Ghana. The Accra Kumasi Expressway I mean they can say $1.7 billion I ready a year to account mu mid-year budget review by the finance minister Dr. Kasiela to Baforsen e pa hontoma yankwaje besia ye Yanje besia 1 Ghana cedi our bond market said the American can it is the first time in the history of this country president abetina konwa so na 1 year 7 months on board besia ye and nyina no gold board intervention ka ho for 1 year 7 months Sami Jamfi ebe gold board penny sika aba omayimu through gold board over $17 billion. Remember in 2023 Nana Kwaku Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia and Ken Ofori-Atta for the first time in the history of this country Yanya finance minister wadi ade awie no wadwane etam Ghana ko IMF kwaji a bailout of $3 billion and ye ba betua no 3 years wabrekwa ye side conditionalities are no den et say adjustments of our utility tariffs ensure yen kanea ene niema hodo ebema o my Ghana ye ho akere yen ye call IMF with the conditionalities no kra no ne ye tua covid levy ye tua e levy ye tua betting tax ye tua emission tax ye tua chese bebe biara na wo se MPP fo ye emia Ghana fo kon agi omusika botom no na omo ye Nanso saa time no mu use almost $100 million etu amena donko e wo reg he ya se wo mu sika cathedral saa time no mu de $2 million e de ama Professor Amiya Ekunfi se won fen koye sky train saa time no auditor general report aba ne say $11.9 million Bawumia jise wode koye Pualugu multipurpose dam a eno no ebe bua kra na farmers a the northern part of Ghana omudua mbeko omudua jene omudua tomato nanka all year round etimi amom irrigation no omudua yo majuma $11.9 million sasika no yamu to bepem ne but afenyo making kan ho asem da saa time no na banks e wo Ghana ha ehia 9 billion Ghana cedis to survive Ken Ofori-Atta use almost 25 billion Ghana cedis at the good banks, but Afenyo Markin Ankasa. Under this same Afenyo Markin, I acquire board chair Edema ECG. ECG recorded a loss of over 8.2 billion Ghana cedis. And Afenyo Markin, under him, not every month revenue electricity of Ghana generating na account on receiving revenue was over 80 separate accounts. 80. It's ebi ura at the end of it all you see just 40% of the total revenue I generating that very month 60% na konkrofo bottom afenyo mark na ko Ghana water ko ye penny wo ho eniema na Ghana water hia no de di ne dwuma e wo Ghana water company ebi wo expiring date no e just a year ne yatimi akra sa eniema no ebi wo ho a beye 5 years ni akra dia bebego ni me be hia no be 5 years but every year be expire under Alexander Afenyo Markin yesiji containers here we are all in this country time of videos ni sansem we nyina beto dwa ni nyina Afenyo Markin anka wo hwe under Afenyo Markin wo motena ase hwe ama Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia the then vice president of the Republic of Ghana wa be flag bearer the MPP changing a bank insurance to insurance guarantee. Ama one of the Ghana Electricity Company of Ghana Esenkrofobia inside 8 good months. Many what they can say 1 month for 1 Ghana city among my Ghana. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. Gabi Ochredakomo. That is what they did to this state. And what was Ghana ni? What's Andren? What's that? looking at this MPP, one will be probably one better me the abwa. But this government have been so lenient and sometimes it beats my imagination. This NDC government, you are being so lenient for my liking because somebody like Afenyomakin should have been behind bars. Afenyomakin, a name, you know they can say 1 year, 7 months into the NDC administration. I was saying, dance and uncafo, and not any prisoner, my Ghana, one more better me now to baby, I won't can because he did a very great disservice to this country. Wabra na MPP abainteswo. But you are quiet as usual, and you are leaving him. No, sorry, no, nenam radio so, nenam TV so, na entro no go futu for the masse. You will futu anka every time bia. Me who say me MP kasanka me de mani bebutu nsiom. If it's a me ferre, futu, that is what your MP is doing. Atro. Mobra pabia na sebedwemu mfuturo yankotu mfuturo nkrofo ani anwoya God board abeye tipaya ma MPP for if say emagana mobesia bio God board ababeye yamutuo e de ama MPP for eti wo moda sori bia kwan be na ye befa so a yan MPP for ye betimi agu God board kwan be na ye befa so a ye betete ateche na ye dia sresra same jamfi ho na Ghana for nyina nguru se ye nyina ye God no wakotena so no odiska. That is the plan. And you have senior journalists me person me boni din bio helping Afenyomakin to achieve some of these things our space because of their affiliation. But some of us, they be a makachiramo. Me say, munti, ane ye mubi ajuma we yes, yes, the MPP. Munti, because Ghana fona dudwana ebreno, they have to know the truth. And was a woman who say, MPP for nye ni papa. Na munye ni papa da. Every development and neighbor Kromwa from Kwame Nkrumah, they fought against it. Bibi biara woman ni she woman because o ma ye woman sorry health insurance kona ko ready there is excellence the former late president John Rawlings the State of the Nation's address 1993 health insurance no ewom and even the MPP fought against the health insurance medical catcher message that say MPP for a history me the tuma jeni nyina be power mo ho ntoma kyerɛw. Then you see the kind of people who can say, Ubetimi do kokromoti to about select you say, woman made your mind Ghana subio. Kwame Nkrumah motorway, Sadia Nay Asensubuachi, Achron Krata, the former roads and highways minister, and then another Kokufado near Large Mahmoud Bamia. What Chron Krata, the command penny say, expressway, a fin cry, echo one chrome Kumasan, Onyai, Asensubuachi. They did the same thing to Kwame Nkrumah. One with Chron Krata, Quabruchre. Akoma brofo na sata momobua na ye motorway ni say Kwame Nkrumah for the first time womu hu say the cement ye kwan eti Kwame Nkrumah hwie sika ne cement gu fam momomwa ana Kwame Nkrumah nye motorway Akosomo Dam the MPP fought against it Kwame Nkrumah si Akosomo Dam Ghana kitikiti sa dam kese yede no matron krata de akọ momna mehwe yensika na Kwame Nkrumah ede ye dam kakra eso mfaso bia masoma but ye ka say light dum okromo a MPP for they are the first people to come and shout dum so ana Mahamadi dum so bo ana wadi. But if you ask them what has been their contribution towards power generation in this country, they have none to show. Mampeni John Dramani Mama, she power plant I would buy in 2016 and sana sunlight here once ever from Yewo Kromwa under the former president John Ejekum Kufuor around 2007-2008 na sadum soi hana dwene wokwa pedwa kofa asofo kwa kosomo so monko bompa ye na ye hunhum mu asem Yewo Kromwa. We can give you the audio evidence. And the president, the former president Kufuor, what the asofo ne kwa kosomo so monko bompa ye. Said another Kufuor, they are so for Galamsey site. So Munko Bompa ye or Galamsey site, na Galamsey nyai. na so saa time no ano na wono na kwada wontumi e wo samra boy etu galamsey no wo tano nimiri etu galamsey na wo sensuo ne nsase banana no ano so twa ne ho fa asofo ko galamsey sai so mo nkobọ mpaye na galamsey ne nyai anoma kokone party yankwa tifi nkwa hunu nsuo ni embra na afo eyeda na nsuo we aye poto say but some of us, as I have always been telling you, some of us, we are doing this job because of the MPP. Abribiano, you better Ghana for to do no one tie TV SYZ, one tie power 97.9 FM, one tie radio SYZ. Yen platform nyani you better no credit actually mwate. Yet me tum futuro Ghana for any bio. I was so many ye. Woman Penny John Dramani Mama, SC Terminal 3. Every year, Yansan no free so. 8 years. MPP for me and for plug or crank or tiny baby. And Haji Mahmoud Baumia 2024, Yaba to Aba, and Okofa Yigate and Nebo Densi Airport, ABC Airport to say what the Yigate ba, or Kodina 4 good hours. Yigate name Biam another. The senior uncle Pombe to me as an attribute. And now I know they can say airport. Terminals ni na kwa renovation se kwa machines on Penny John Dramani Mama ediabe gugo scan machines visionary mo sorry bia na ohuruye moja beta mutirim ye betwe moja no de amamo ha abuse ye to adwuma de no so na ye nko the chief executive officer of the Ghana Gold Board Sami Jamfi Esquire was say wo ka kire afenyo marking say so wo susu ampa se wono aye pani a oda Gold Board ano na waboka onfra ne mramra se badwam na document bi a wo no wo fa nyina so na onkasa no wontie yankohwe wo bra na ye Sami Jamfi pani oda Gold Board ano e ka sensem ye bebe to aso.
He says politics is a contact sport. So when you are involved in politics, you are involved in boxing. You should be ready for tackles, you should be ready for punches. And some of us are vaccinated against political mischief. We've taken the vaccine, so we are not worried at all. But what I want to say is this. If the one under whose tenure has bought chairman as ECG, you know, where ECG recorded a loss of 8.2 billion, is not facing any onerous bail terms, and how can Sami Jamfi, under whose tenure the Gold Board has exported 170 tons of gold through former channels and brought into this country over 17 billion United States dollars in 1.5 years, face onerous bail terms. Under your tenure, not a gram of gold produced in Ghana was refined in Ghana. Today, over 9 metric tons just this year of gold we have bought refined in Ghana. We are changing the value addition story. So you see, such statements are reckless. They are what I call the fanciful efficiencies of, you know, of a palm wine bar. You take it as comic relief. And it is very sad. You see, when we say this, he says we are not insulting him. This is somebody occupying a seat once occupied by the Venerable G.H. Mensah, the Venerable Papa Uzu Ankoma, or Seiche Mensah Bonsu. Look at the depth and the substance of these personalities. When they rose to speak on Parliament, look at the command they commanded across the aisle. And look at how this seat has now been so bastardized and depraved by a noisemaker who cannot even read and research and get his facts right. So I will go to prison in his brain, and I will have onerous bail terms in his brain. I'm not afraid of any intimidating tactics, because we are serving Ghana in good conscience, and our resource and posterity will speak for us. Thank you very much. There's been a call for a parliamentary probe, and I've already stated on public record that I'm waiting with bated breath for Afenyo Markin's invitation. And I don't know why he's delaying and holding press conferences when, as minority leader, he can get the Public Accounts Committee to summon me tomorrow or today, and I will appear. I saw him dabbling in some confusion about standing orders of Parliament and the fear that the majority may oppose a call for a probe into this matter. Well, I have, in all humility, reached out to the new majority leader in Parliament, Honorable James Agaga, and I pleaded with him that even if Afenyo delays in extending this invitation, he should extend the invitation to me. And I'm ready to come tomorrow. You don't need any special motion. You don't need any special order by the Speaker. Just get Public Accounts Committee to invite us and come and sit down there and come and demonstrate to the whole nation where the good board made losses or how the good board is to blame for losses made by another institution. We are waiting for that.
Esquire, many nim papa, the Trima Bob Bewa, Ghana Gold in Yinano, or Shasonem Fasodia, Eddie Abrewo Ghana, ni. A branch here, come, on no general screen is so I walk asano, and a war patch. So, no, why a crowd? Why ready? So, Alexander Fenyomark and any the minority woman to San Freno, Obeura a year, Mrasebedum. No, the document or the fact or the surpluses or the what and Fasodia. I go board enya. Wabra no. Sami Jemfi Esquire wabeye penny power dano na eya na ye ngonwa kakra efisa se wo hwa akonwa Alexander Fenyomark nteso na opani bi tise GH Mensa atena so opani bi tise Papa Usu Ankoma atena so opani bi tise Osaiche Mensa Bonsu atena so na wo hwe sampanifo no ene ha wana wo madwene mu do na wo mo ka ensem a omo nyina so no a eye ne mobo se sabre de eye MPP for abomodin de sa akonwa kase ade ama obi a ono ne dia obeya ne se obeye dede wo berekwa woni nyina so e woni dede oye ne ho asemwe Alexander Fenyomark e wo se ntufo finekoi e wo se wabra bon sesa sa asemwe eya yie papa it means say what lower the seat of the MPP whether majority or minority what they are to form anankrofo tiatia so abusha yenko victory garlic mixture for so yemfemra wo munro mo wo kwan ye fa so asaya de wahodo wo to yare o ma ko pebi ne bebo ye kwaba ne atogmedi ne so
enua victory garlic mixture na wati ni dinatiatia tin se na edro ni tie na no pasem ne se edro wi adwuma ye titru pa ne se ebeboa ananna ne srade e wo ni padua ni mumtin mu ama ohu atọ kura de dika obabi wo ho a okonfikyire a ema edro a wuhia ye victory garlic mixture ebi kura ho bekwa ewie wansa na ba eye victory e na wunya victory no ma na busumi biara ubenya ofikyire akwa empa ho kura eno de akira obi wo ho ani ti ne ta adwa no obi wo ho ye adwuma kakra bia no abre na nakoma bɔ ne periperi ni nyina ye mogya entimi mfa akoma nu kwa adwen mu eno ne kofa saa de ne ba odofo mesrew so wo ho na wonsem ta adwew ebia wonsa no sei ana wonamro mu na esi fom no kura ewew ana ayetufo se de edi fom ato mpagoa mu a eya victory na American fama wo onum victory asa no ma ye bobɔ so nyina no ebegyae de oto ho anadwo a wontini na wohia victory emframa nyankopon de ama ye se ye nhumi wo de wo nhumi a na wo tie so o bra eya victory na betimi aboa wo ye wo bi wo so a wo ana ne ye mahye no a obia na ne ka obia nya ne hwe obi wo so na koma bɔ ne periperi ni nyina mogya ne ntimi ne afusa ne ye wo ni padua no edura wunya ye victory garlic mixture de watwa bra ya bia ya na se kokodue ne nam no no ye ne basa eya victory na American fo wunya victory bi no a ebeboa wo se doctor de wato aduro so sane a ubetimi anom victory na ka waduro wonna ne se waduro no na abenu ma meet abiasa no anom we so na abenu ma no anom victory no so achi meet abiasa wo ye ne sa bibia abade kama ma se wona se tata wo ye agya ho aduma mesraw edura American fo ma wa ye victory garlic mixture mesraw nipa ne bia danse a ye pese ye fa wo ma danse na tie na se wo so koto a ubenya sa danse kro no a
ntwe mi mpedwa mi ntumi ni di mi yare so mane ko be 12 years ni man nu nduru mojeduru 5 minutes de trim matutu ana se na meti TV mu ntumi na me hwe ne mu se moto nduru bi esi victory heba victory garlic mixture ne mi toduru sa ba moduru no asa moduru no eye papa ntumi ni di o mi din sa no me di afi bi no se di ya na afi insa na afi no mtumi di bi afi mi di ma edrubone sa bi semi eno so no mtumi di eno so mi be mu sa afi de eno so be du bi no mtumi di bi afi mi hu de menya me na mti edo no kan wo TV so a na mi kutu bi ni me no edo no anopa eni awiane anwumre no ande no si afi nyampala mi no adibia mtumi di mi si afi na tola tamiko ya black masa modro no die edoni ye na nyame nhyira mo
aje me pa me problem ye menstrual pains nda ne kakra me so ti me nya me menses no bosom ni ma me bre pa me brankasa me timi to tondro no na ne se man ti se yesi ye bidro ha na makoto ba bia me wo me timi fa ka ekọ obi kru so ekoto bidro me timi no bi te se na victory ni in fact I don't know me nim die wo mu die me koto obi me tie advert no TV so sada na me sorry anwunwe na me koto ye na dana me say ade yi to me paadi mu no moja tropa yi to me paadi mu ti me twa to me phone so kura say ha adwene a enka me de betum aka ho na ma hye te say se wa hwe ye kwa baka se na bia me ya bo hye na me no maduro bi te say efi sada na yi sa moja troa no to me paadi mu no me nya mezes no maduro e ma me hu sa emoja se bi like say kwoti te say ni nyina flow kama ti victory tie mintimi enja ento ho te to de bia na mo ba abasa mo me sma abasa na edro ne me di hu adanse
obi si me de cholesterol sa de bone e na aba mi nipadua ma be di atenase wadro ye victory garlic mixture se wunya victory ne no ma cholesterol ne se ne nani e density bia no victory be yi ni nyina afiru nipadua no odofo wo pedia to anama ne 024 2545 633 024 2545 633 and 020 129 3280 020 129 3280 a victory mkunimdie ne ade bremu.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. Natural mineral water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596 273 546 or 0596 273 547. This advert is FDA approved.
Simon Akaba Kesebio at about TVXYZ and Power 97.9 FM Inside Politics. Jumedi Sine Yasha said that Safi Anado Casafidi na to have more Akaba Kaho. Near this segment, mum copim 6 p.m. Bebo, ye Fakonya so na and Sama Hodua Echegu or Mine Ghana had the dinner Senefata sounds Subitimia Hontia Sieno. Yentimi any Jumedi mum Totwa Yadrene na Mwa and Shayam Penny Foye Sebitimiamo Mine Ghana fan and Tama Pebidi Frechi. Oko Facebook I am platforms no ho at Power 979 FM TV XYZ. Ubehunu no Facebook. Nemo uko PMO YouTube dia XYZ broadcast ne ho abomodin agebre na also wahwe dwumade bi de wadwen kire de ato ase wo mere pem no ye bekin kan sensem ni nyina e de aboa ma dwumade afa ne ntema pa bi e de efra midin di NK Obrempong nyankopon enhyira wa mempene da yanto dwumade no so mfem ma wa ha kope X natural mineral water nsuo nanom. So I just want you to have a taste of it. I just want you to have a feel of it. Say X natural mineral water now Obrempong aka nie. Ebusua de nti abere bia no me kasa edefa X natural mineral water ho no ene say eye nsuo a eye nsukrogin a enuanu ahodo a nsuo ehia bia no ayemu ma. Nti se wo no mo a wo sa ahotoso no e wa apomudin mu se wo apomudin bekoso na atena wo nipaduam wo bra wo nom X natural mineral water eyema wo ankasa eyema wo ba eyema wo mame eyema wo papa eyema wo yere abusuamu ni nyina se mu bedidi sensu kom kekenede mo mane nye X natural mineral water na abere bia no munya sa ahotoso no se apomudin beye mo dia obeye yie obeye wedding obeye party obedi dwumadie bia nipa hodo beba se a mepa chaw se obi abenya sa ni da so ne ahotoso no se ye nsuo mo no betimi di apomudin abrɛ mo no mane nye X natural mineral water na afei obia ɛho ɛntɔ no nya sa ni da so no nso bi ukɔ melcom ana minimat bi ɛbɛn wa obenya nsuo bi atɔ na emom wo shop na sabre nkai boy nti upe bi na nso de go shop aton a number sa me de gu dwan frɛ wo frɛ pɛ nsa betimi aka X natural mineral water nsuo bi na nso de go shop aton agye ho mfa so ɛde agu botom number betimi afrɛ 059 6273546 059-6273546 and 059-6273547 059-6273547 X natural mineral water simply natural debia me ka say yade aye so beba nko ade a me ne wode ka say ye wo herbal hospitals ahodo ye wo clinics ahodo ye wo biaya ahodo mo so ma ye krado so mo be sasa yade wa nyina de free ho ene Power Specialist Herbal Hospital for Ababeka Yensa ewo fidie mu yade wahodo mo sa wo mu nru a wo mo aye aye no mo edi apomuden ebre ye na tu yade ase wo mo ankasa bedu ede ma me mo makwaba na tie bi na hwe bi na famu aba ko pedro no bi to se wutie wi a na fe wo yare aye krankro no entu ase emfema ho eja akwaba na mpom ti se ya me adoboko ede nyankopon ase se Power Specialist Herbal Hospital for muguso na yade a ebetena Ghana for so ana amaya kafie ye kwa dwuma kora ye ntimi nkọ na sika ho aye de aman no muguso amosa yade enenso Power Specialist Herbal Hospital den enro den ayaresa na Ghana for ba makachi a mubetimi adi ho dwuma de amam Ghana for aye krado mo tie o
medase abusia ye mo akwa aba Power Tambre eni Power Specialist Herbal Hospital ye den chefia Dr. Panyia oda hospital na no doctor akosia adu aya ho the more baby algebra na ohwe Power Time. There be some can say a dance papa and crowd 44 power home TV so radio so internet na me ahodo no won so be ka dance di for no bi Power Specialist Herbal Hospital do na friend last stop yo Kumasi won crime and na ye wo takra the Kumasi o fe yase ye ni Jasper Flint Station di nhwe mu wo aputuo ja kontra so kwan so Lake Road and ye wo Accra wo kwabenya ACP kwanso ne block factory no edi enhwerem na fe takra de wo Anaji Estate Customs Road yani single washing bay no enso di nhwerem ye number say di adwuma na emiensa famu bia ne frɛ wo fra branch na ebel no ne ma direction aba ho na wa beje wa yaresa number se ne 0555 797878 0200 3831 and 0244 544422 Monday to Saturdays and your dear Juma Sunday penny day you holidays a year Juma or your branches in Tibia Obia and your dear Bia at it to Biano baby as a sword when each bacope a Power Specialist Herbal Hospital Uba Labo Papa Bia who has a Maya no baye ye didn't feel show mu so he has a Maya scan who has a Maya S3 Bibi Berasa ma we near who the akoso ni pedwem de beye there be am say ye intuiti just symptoms nya so ka say oti o ya pa ni atwere drama no e de na ma otiri pai wo obi ti paye eye malaria the same ti paye no obi de typhoid ti paye krona bu abahwere ni BP no e wo soro dodo obi ti paye ni moja awe obi ti paye eye severe constipation entity paye ba kono ne me betim ti paye na ba de doso ti so do symptom ne ba you make sure say niema ahodo yade ahodo a ebetim de sa symptoms krona ba de behwe ni nyina na fia tackle the cause of symptoms no near to ade na sama ho ato Power Specialist Herbal Hospital yere na ma ye ho eye yere ma nkrofo epayasam sentini sa no ntino ye ntom fom yade yɛsa yadeɛ etu ase baabi a obia wo de fa yadeɛ ne bra nyame adom ayaresa ɛwɔ power specialist about hospital nyankopɔn ama yɛtumi wa ma yɛayaresa tumi a yɛde sa yadeɛ etu ase wa ma doctor akɔso adua ya hamanuo papa ɛsa yadeɛ etu ase nti fa yadeɛ ne bra on fa yadeɛ ne ma na on san fa nkɔ de biara ɛda sɛ ne de kan a wo hwɛ power time na wonim sɛ wo hepatitis B tie ne ye pa wonim sɛ wa test hepatitis B positive obi aka cho sɛ yadeɛ we de wawie ya no yadeɛ we de eni adura enne baabi a obi a wo hwɛ power time ye ma wani da so ye show nkura ne ye ka cho sɛ so otu na mo ba power specialist seba hospital yadeɛ no befu mojam ebekɔ negative adeɛ ba ko a ehu a yadeɛ we sɛ nkofo bebre ɛwɔ hepatitis B nanso so omu nim sentry sɛ omu ni symptom bia ne ho ba bia anya ne ya nneɛma ahodo a yɛka fa hepatitis B ho sɛ bia anya hepatitis a ɛbɛyɛ osei wobɛhu sei no ɔno deɛ ɔnhu hwee oni symptom ba akokra nanso na yadeɛ no ene nette ɔno yadeɛ no na ɛkɔ na ɛba ɛnyɛ sɛ bia ne dɔfo bi hia mogya ɔkɔtwe mogya ama no anaasɛ bia na dwumam na sɔre otu kwan ɔbaware ɛna ɔkɔyɛ medical sɛ bɛka kyɛ sɛ yɛde ne bɔ mogya mu a oni symptom bia ɔde bɛhu sɛ ebi wɔ mogya mu yɛno yadeɛ ehu paa nanu yɛ free health screening no enkrɔfo no mo hepatitis B nanso ɔmo ne symptom bia no na ɛnya asɛm ketewa dako pa bɛyi ne ho no kyɛ sɛ ɛde wo kɔ no entimi sraw sɛ wonmi sɛ wɔ hepatitis B wutia yɛ na ɔde wo hu sɛ wɔ yadeɛ ne bia ɛntra se entie de enkrɔfo ka sɛ sɛ ade ne ne duro power specialist about hospital any hospital ba ko pa nyankopɔn adom wɔma yɛ duro a yɛde sa hepatitis B yadeɛ no etu ase tie ne yɛ manage so akɔtena ba bom so yade we de niado ntie so de amount ye manage de amount me so mirikam tumrika furniture power specialist about hospital ansa na we live an asha say dey essay tie ne ye pa power specialist about hospital any hospital ba ko pa ye ward dansidie yaje award Ghana any amono ne award bebre Ghana any amono ne eche sampa hepatitis B yade no yetimi sa etu ase ene ye nkwaje ne ayaresa bread ma so betu anamo aba ye hospital ho Kumase enkra na say takrade ana ye okunu aye oyire aye oba aye onua bi enkrofo kan se bebre fa yade we hu ama akwa se bi akwa se abonsam yade bi enti obi hu se obi a enam se aka cha se yade no esainte no obi se hu fefre kra kan obi obenya bi wuki se obi obenya bi unu obi enyampam kita odi abenya bi enti se obi nya bi a obi ba na obusa se doctor ntimi metimi ne me ba adidi ya na awe ho metimi ma me ma aba me nchen hepatitis B enya sanity enya so no obi didi ya na wanya bi mesro so pese hu yade ne sade tie na pese ugitum sa yade ne be fru mogya no ampa bra power specialist about hospital wona wodi adanse o TV radio and internet no bebre obi ade na ba TV so pa bia be di adanse na oba na ne report eka ho before and after treatment nyame adom doctor akoso aduaya hepatitis B adura ye de satu ase tumrika furniture power specialist Herbal Hospital Kumase enkran na fe ayeta kwade ya na otenka sa onfe ena onfe aya wo ya woni onfe ni fa ha aya wo ya hyehyewa de kopie wachi ya na onipadua no mu ase da bia hit onipadua no mu ohunam teme hyehyew ohunam teme kekaw wotumi tete ho saa odidi keto na yefo no ahye me so hepatitis B ne signs and symptoms no bi eno no se wo hu bi sa bra ye hwe se eye bia ena se ye bibi foforo ye mo entry ade no asema ho nto wo fatty liver wakoya scan wako hospital ye se liver no aye fatty wani nyina ye very yellow unsam wano ni nyina ye very yellow ye se liver no aye large liver na hono aye kase ama aye furu na hono aye dendenden misraw baby esesa wakoya ba ko pe aye power specialist about hospital nyame adom doctor akoso aduoya de do beba ye fa no aduoya liver care as hili liver no ebe se liver no yade se liver na honhono se liver no ayesrade a ya adrowe ebe kuni nyina ama liver na nya hoden ama na sai kama biem o kidney stones o kidney cells unasa chase tatai unasa nyina honhono ulowa ba ko sisi achi hono aye wo ya hyehyew ama severe waist pain baby atenka oni pedum say why very weak wontimi nya adwuma da bia why mre for kidneys in Niagara, Bra Power Specialist about hospital. Bema o Johnson samna enkoye. Johnson kra no chima sana ba Johnson intime ma. Ama wa ya sin nyina yireten. Aya wo ya. Sa Johnson doa. Chese wo ma ho kwan sa Johnson ma say de na Johnson mai. Johnson ba o ten kase bia kam. O Johnson wie kra ne moja di akire. Sa asem woni ne mede ba ne dɔɔso nti na ɔba ye be ya niema ahodoɔ ya de ahodoɔ betim de sa asem kro no aba no ni ahwɛ symptoms so betim aye prostate betim your blood or junso twane bia honhono cystitis no betim your kidneys betim your ureter so urethra and then untreated infection oba power be boa na etua de no asema ho atɔ wo ulcer akwam do aye problem aduane toy my problem ya na oyefuna hye gastritis ya na obofro bitime fesa ulcer nti wachi kase no mo hyehyew ayawo ya obuo no nyina ayo ya ko pie wa chutanya heartburns udidi na aduane jejabo indigestion ya na osan nyina titiriti ulcer no wohia adua ya SK doctor akoso adua ya de adroso nku bia ba ye fe no SK that is stomach care say ye duodenal ulcer say peptic ulcer ebekum ekuro no nyina ade amaw stomach ulcer ebekum no nyina ade amaw hwehwe bia kira kwan wo typhoid wonum nyina ayo nyonyonyo uti powder ndende ya na ho ayehye obofro utime fe severe constipation na ho na yamsu ayedai na ahwie saa yefuru ya wo ya hyehyew wo toilet wo se moja ewmu samwo no tueto nsunu ko akire a etimi saa asem tun ba hwe be ka say koko enso na severe typhoid wo hia kala mixture e ba boaw etu ase ama so what test malaria positive a edroba ko pa wo hia eyedu ya malamis wo kata so ani gusu say ya na ade ache yesu moja so ate bia ko hospital bia yesu moja so ate edwando onum kra won tene de wontimi kra ni di ye ma edu ya herbal tonic Ubawa na uyi ahrai na moja ewmu wakoma bo kim wo home esro problem bia wa wo chest ho say ya wo land say ya wo ha say de akoso ye ma odu ya cough ka heba mixture ye friend chest cough problem bia wa wo chest ho bia no eba boa etu ase ma ho ato na so ye be ma na ne menkoye wo mpamu fa ma ode a ye ma ojiri kajiri ni dini no honam se na se onya heba mixture immune system booster ne de ka ho de a chese ba bia wudi amaw wo ya adwumaden bakwa adwuma na honam nyina ya wo ya wo ya carpenter ni wo ya mason ni wo ya fitani wo de oba pewo mo tabi dware nya adua ya ointment ni bi fatwetwe ba bia yo ya bia kokata so abeda se timade ba chena ho den wo de akwa adwuma so ya de bia teto ya ntimi aka ho asom no chese nya ho adwuma aware form power a momra power specialist about hospital kompo ehye ominimu a bra power specialist about hospital sciatica how to asechocho den utia fama sade ta wonase a bra power specialist about hospital bone fracture do mpene mu abu pain ye be kan se ni amada chene fa hobi amro ya de bia titu bia oba power nyame adoma yaresa e wo ho mesie wo kumase won kran ena ye water cra de kumase wo fe yase ye ni Jasper Flint station ni din hwani mu wo aputo oja contrast kwan ne so Lake Road ena ye wo akra wo kwabenya ACP kwansa ne block factory no edin hwam na fe takra de wo Anage Estate Customs Road and single washing bay no din hwam mo frey 0555 797878 0200 383831 and 0244 544422 Monday to Saturdays and your day my Sunday period and your moving holidays ya juma our your branches in your say baby algebra na ohwe power time nyame adoma da sanesa re yan so dey pop de hon samno ebebro
power specialist Seba hospital for no ndura omo wo kwan ye fa so sayade wa hodo wate wo de ewu mu pe ma musu na kope bi na ebeboa na ayi wo yare wa hodo nyina aye krankrote so no every holiday ama we are still live on Power 97.9 FM and TVXYZ. We are live on Facebook at Power 979 FM TVXYZ. Na fe okopie mo YouTube XYZ broadcast na ho no watimi abomodin agebre inside politics jumedi kwan ya ye fa so na fe ye de nsema hodo esere fata wo se wo utimi nya ho ntiase a etwegu wo man Ghana am ye de somwo na bibi ya timi eye kama ye beda ne ye ho aba ye nya akoba pe ene mpanifo mienu a ye ne omo ba be di jumedi yi nkomo aka ye ba be biem ne ye di ho nkomo abiu Deledem, Head of Corporate Affairs, Ghana Heavy Equipment Limited, and afe yene Kofi Ebusuapeni, National Communication Team Member, and Dema Eye NDC Amanyokun. Penny for me, ana eba betina se na afi ne nsem waka ne nyina yabo modin adomu suko na enwunchire mu ese na efata no ye de asomo nti twen men ko ba bia ye dane ye ho abatesi a ye ne yaboafo edi ngita ho ye nya akoba pe enkomo ni nyina ahyase na ye nyina edi abom ye ba yesi atwen.
Now, let me tell you about Safari Valley Eco Resort, the first of its kind in West Africa. Upon your arrival, you are introduced to your butler, who plans your itinerary.
We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the eco park.
So many activities, all in the same premises. Visit the gym or the stables, they have it all. At my break, I'm able to practice my putting.
We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife and how to interact with them.
They used only electric vehicles here. This creates a serene environment. I'm told it's over 1,000 acres. My cabin here sits on 2 acres with a large terrace space overlooking my private swimming pool. Now this is royalty. They have their own farms, thousands of fruit trees. I can also have my lunch here at the waterfall. Quite a beautiful place you have here.
Visit Safari Valley Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
The serene environment fits into the goal of the school, which is simply to provide excellent educational foundation for your ward's development before they commence primary education. At first glance, clearly you will see why the school is called Hebron Hills International School, as the building stands tall overlooking town. With a Montessori style, we have experienced and dedicated staff and trained teachers. Our small sizes classrooms are meant to enhance teacher-focused approach where children get one-on-one attention from the teacher. Hello there. We are open at 7:30 a.m. and school closes at 2:30 p.m. After school care is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., while early drop-off can be arranged at 6 a.m. Hebron Hills International School is located at Midye off the Nsawam Road. Locate us with GP postcode GW0688 GA West and GPS code 06884870. You can contact the school and make further inquiries on 050-876-2375 or call the office directly on 0302-918768. Email us at hebronhills.school@gmail.com. Hebron Hills International School. Excel and shine.
Na ede na ya obayi a oda forma so ne yafunu mu emunumuni.
Oh, Mr. Entry, also yare ya tete be ben fie pi nanso ne yam nyono da. Se me chew no ahodo amato a me hunu hwe a ebe ya nwanwa.
Menyi ni se wato ulcer tamfo Hexa capsules any Hexa mixture yanum bom kotia ulcer no bia ma no anom. Anka ne ho ato no dadaada. Ulcer dro de eno ne Hexa capsules any Hexa mixture.
Ankom ni nchiremu.
Ulcer yekura eto yefunu ene ensunu mu. Etuma wo yefunu ekeka wa. Wogire ho a enyi. Ulcer etumi ema wo ye cheko ebre a wadidi awie. So how eye ulcer de a compare Hexa capsules any Hexa mixture nanum bom na ho ebeto.
Pedudu etu a ko okanshi Drug Lane, Kumasi Dani Herbal, Takradi AA Mensa, Anafre 020-3822-855. Appear about Tanya Wama on more friend for any more fra when you fear do me no enkaho. Hexa capsules and in a mixture.
Ulcer tamfo edie age edwadie nkratoyi atom.
Life doesn't always pause when your favorite program starts. Some days there's still one more break to finish, but that doesn't mean you have to miss your favorite show. Download the WAPS TV Plus app. It's simple, it's quick, it's free. Head to your app store, search WAPS TV Plus, download, and you're in. Your favorite programs can move right with you. Different places, different lives, same feeling. Wherever life takes you, it's your TV, your time, your way. Feel free.
If I cry na menyisika, Edia ye me fui.
Ehin fapa na menya bosia edia tre medwuma yi mu.
Kai kra mabre me ye bosia ato taxi fufu. Suhum Rural Bank.
Suhum Rural Bank.
Yɛma akwa ababa Suhum Rural Bank. Yɛ wɔn hyehyɛ ahodoɔ bi te sɛ dwadifo abosia, ekuokuro bosia, susu account, anidasoɔ wɔ hɔ savings account, mebada chain savings account, ɛne deɛ keka ho. Frɛ Suhum Rural Bank wɔ 03422919896. Na wɔn nso wɔtumi aka sɛ
Suhum Rural Bank. Ama ene mayeka una.
Suhum Rural Bank. Entime pa minie.
Suhum Rural Bank, growing our heritage.
Obrempong eye adwumada. Eboa eyam aduane. Eboa eyi nsa free ni peduane mu. Na eboa woni pedua ma etena ho yie. Nanso wonim sɛ nneɛma a yɛdi na yɛnom timi ma brɛbɔ yɛ adwumaden sen pɔtee.
Mehu da. Me brɛbɔ yɛ adwuma paa. Ebia sɛ sɛ mentumi yɛ bibi boa me brɛbɔ.
Ani, and nointing a what the left here from the Moses Clinic, ne Herbal Center, about Herbal Food Supplement. We see pa de boa brɛbɔ ama ye adwuma yi.
Na, ye adwuma.
Fatopa yenu yenu, anopa ni enumere. Na eboa ma obrebo ye adwuma yi sene ebeya ebetimi anyam aduane a wodi esiesie ni peduane mu eyi mu finso yi
eno na me brebo kia pa.
Obenya Left Kid wɔ pharmacy, herbal shops, ne supermarkets a ɛbɛn hɔ. Sɛ wopɛ dodoɔ so atu a, frɛ 0244 06 8447. Left Kid, boa wo brɛboɔ, boa wo nipadua. Edro yi enye ma apemfo ma ema omomanofo ne mmofo a wonya mfie dumie FDA age dwedie krato yi atum.
The Samuel Akwaba Kasebio deba live on TV XYZ na fe Power 97.9 FM Inside Politics Jumedie Sunie yedin sama hodo a etwegu wo man Ghana ha de dina sana fatasi etimide somo ba bia waje bre na wo hwe ana se wutie anwumre na yereke abobrobro nsem so bi bebre deda nia ebetimi aboa no man we afa ntema pa bedi efra ti wadwone akan ho afede yesere abebe bie nkomu no mankasa wo bra mpanifo ebe ka me ho wo dwumadi so na yede sansemi nkyiremu esene fata asom wo ba bia waje bre na wo hwe ya na se wutie dwumadi ni bi wo ko Facebook a yen platforms no ho at par 979 bacha wo betimi anyan dwumadi kama na ode ho aka ho Power 979 FM na wanyan o Facebook TVXYZ so benyan e Facebook name mo kopie mo YouTube dia ye XYZ broadcaster na wabo modern agebre ode ho aka dwumadi ho wo hwe bi no adwenkyire bi ebeba o tirem no ode troto ase wo mrepem no ye be kenkan sansem no nyina na ye de aboa dwumadi no midin ade yenke Obrempong Nyankopon enhyira wa mempreda se nenso wagebre se ye ni sa dwumadi we emfa emu me pese yenhwe messages no bi aba ewo yen wo no ho ewo Facebook na fe dodo no anso wo madwenkyira wo mode tai dwumadi we ye chi no ye momode na fe yen kan sensem ni bi na ye mfa ensom ekrofo e kira wo madwene yie pa na ensem ni bi na ano odin da bia meka se eba ne se ye di dwumadi ya na matom bo ase e ya adwenkyire ebetimi aye fire ba fire no eni se ye edidi atem gidigidi sa adwenkyere no wakere no boko no wagiato se be na aboa oman yi kan kro yenhwe Paul Amenoshiji or say MPP minority leaders in parliament knows that one day Sami Jemfi will be president in Ghana. Oh, okay. Ethiopia just say MPP for our mom na shebe Germany say Sami Jemfi ebetima ba be your mampani. Eni ti no masha se one more tata na sa no. Piaga or say Jimmy for Obrempong, if power change, you will run from this country, I swear. Oh, Piaga. Power says, me Johnny home. And Obrempong me Johnny. Me a gun and knee. Me ni baby a cop. Me nya pointy. Na me ya pointy crana me nyane. At the second of Furiata. Say me be appointee of the government kranwa me ndwane te sese de kenoforiata adwane no ntino de wadwane a obi antata no piaga eye wa former finance minister kenoforiata me enke Obrempong me Ghana ni. I am so proud of this country and I will not and never run away from this country because me dwumadie bia me di no me de boa se wo man Ghana ebe fa na ntema pa bi na wo de afra nti piaga o message no me nsaka makan edi amount atenie ni de eya mo nkan hunu se enya de a yenye mu bi no baabi a yedu no ebe wohye ana ebe kan yen dabi piaga se wo ka asem asabi abawo mu ebe fa ba se wo bedi matem na ayeme enke Obrempong ya ewo madwuma mi ye de piaga ha ho wohye why yenso yenwane free way oman mu atise kenofriata wow MPP for my former finance minister see that yan trust ni anhwe de ono so o kiro de aba Asari Manuel Facebook or say never again to MPP or say MPP NCBO that say it to me be more or say I can see Afenyo Markins don't want Dr. Baumia to become president because his behavior tells us all. Asari Manuel said a year your friend is saying Afenyo Markins say and on the who say Afenyo Markins on pese Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia be president that anything that all put up those behaviors, you know. It's what the bar, your budget bre, now you're kind amount. Jamil Zuka, or say good job. Jamil, thank you. God bless you, sir. Wajatu say Jumapa, and ye waha. Until back now the old Kahwa, a bebuano minor, Afan and Tema Pebi, Eddie Efra. I was saying my main car was said Divine Hope Ever Center for one more Eddie a year or Chiaba Pada, Eddie Abe Grandma, so a dray. Ni yare we ahodo etimi sana me ba bebe boso no eye dru papa pa Obrempong ana e kan fo se dru yama me ankasa manom otwe ba pa dada enti se me betufo ama wa minim de enti a me ka kirew se uyo obi a usisi ya wo ya se wo ye oba na se be ma me pa cho edru betimi ma sa ya wo no afri mu no eye otwe heba powder afi pass koko tete wa no mo otwe ba powder betu aseri ama sexual weakness low libido stroke ulcer, menstrual disorder, what we are room, me patch of pharmacy, sa obenya bi no me ba bebo no so. And ne ya manu super ko na koto adreni bi nanom. Sa ya wa hodo mabbo so nyina no, e betu ase de afri nipadua no watimi anya hode de aba obra ma oni age. Gapsin pharmacy wo kofo area. Kapeba wo sinyane House of Drugs ewa Shaiman. Afi boachi ansa ewo Cape Coast na boachi eba ewo Tema. PK Gombela or Temale, Ukura, Eba shops in the pharmacy, Amabu, Yina, Mepacho, on Sabeka or Triba Pada, no I shall say, Anon. Now, Ben or Triba Pada, Ashenson, say where did you and son waiting me on said Bruno, or pharmacy shop and I have a shop named Kaibu Watsi, one so Pedro Biato, Eddie a good shop and Nadia Mancro 4, Etu, Moyad, Waho, the film Munipediama, Freddy Divine Hope Eba Center 4 number, we saw Major so now for Mama a Drabia to now so the good shop at town. 0591 565 557 0591 565 557 and I say 0550 639 037 0550 639 037 or chair about part or say Jana Shewa wow beba. Adia say Abba ama edansie ayefo ayemre without say ubia ne obabetwe ho manso eye Benji Estate and Investment Limited for abusia wo mo de ne so mbema wasase na oto asase ne wie kura na opese osi dan no a wo mbetimi asi ama wo mbe rufi ama wo de wo ho ne se wo masase ne nsuo ne nkane a wo so de da wo mo bechew anwea one trip na wo de hye edansie na se ukohwe site visitation na eye free wuntua one Ghana city Kochopoli airport area wo se sia asase na mo de je 45,000 Ghana cedis because say Benji Estate and Investment Limited. One made 12 years, so almost say somebody in say Emma Ghana for the Juma soon in Antino. Sabre, one of the promotion about as I say, what you pull 45,000 Ghana cedis, normally about 35,000 Ghana cedis, or much of 10,000 Ghana cedis. Now, as I said, so insuring kania well demarcated already nya afi na akota asase na akọ chiri ECG forces yema po na fa connect to fie dabi wunye si fie ni wie na posi wani na wa connect light na wasum etimi ajo kana se no so mo sase o ton nyina no title land deda ya register legit confirm no any say wo afi na wo to no akọkọ registration ho dabi ente sa Benji Estate and Investment Limited sebra na asase na se o mate so abedu 35,000 no 70 by 100 size no so obedu na so betua in flexible terms of payment but omo won hye ma na emum eno no omo de be ma 40,000 Ghana cedis na afi wato bo asa etua asase no to ya na wa asase esi udan ana wa ma esi dan ma omo special packages e ma companies omo de ma organizations schools welfare associations any others oba bedu omo nchen omo special package e de ma na emum other services omo ye no say dem di kan no building construction omo besi udan na ma wo bra wato asase na wie so pese omo ye ma wa supply of building materials omo ye renters house roofing omo ye hwehwe omo kira kwan e wo tema community 25 junction opposite goodness filling station for numbers amedi tu dwa no nchiremu amedi ama wo pe bia kan ho omo so no mo ne edi sangita ho no 0248780887 0248780887 and 0553 166602 0553-166-602. Follow on social media platforms also at Benji Estate and Investment Limited or see own a property today. We are still live on TVSYZ and Power 97.9 FM. Inside Politics, Jumedi Sunye, Kwanya Weso, Anna Edu Swaye Fa, na ye de nsema hodo a etwegu o man Ghana ha de edina sene fatano ye timidi aba ufie o ka mu ba bia obetimi agebre na wahwe dwumadi bi ye nyina ya bomoden na ya kire ya adwene aboa nhyehyɛ pa bia mpanifo eye ewo man Ghana ha se beye na o man ne bekoso na wafa na ntema pa bi ede efra midi de enke Obrempong midi dwumadi ho kyame na mede asomom ene mpanifo mienu a ye ne omu ebedi dwumadi eye Kofi Abusua Penny wono eye National Communication Team member edema eye NDC amanyokuo no sanso na eye Abiu Deledem head of corporate affairs Ghana Heavy Equipment Limited mpenifoi atenase mame mo makwa aba na afi nsema hodo wo ni nyina no yen hyase na yemmie mo Abiu Obrempong aba
Obrempong mame nchiawe
na what to say
Obade Daroma
the Nyankopon
na menchia mi am ofa busia mi am ofa ni o me age pass we share was said back so me fa ni India goro kwa omo na ye tu omo na mo omo no mo kire communication if over ya mi shira o ni mi shira na o de shira ni na Obrempong mame so menchia o na me bo abaso na ejuma pa o de bo Ghana mai
eguso pa
na mi shira pa mi shira.
Okay. Abiuna, why you head of corporate affairs? Edema Ghana Heavy Equipment Limited. That is a big post. Mo to say wo ho mo dwumadi amudi e ko say ne mo beto ye ene ba bia mo du bia mo boso kakra na afete.
Ye ho ye Ghana Heavy Equipment Limited. I'm in chair CEO.
Very well.
Mr. Honorable Mutaliba for Ghana Heavy Equipment Limited. Ghana Heavy Equipment Limited, they a state-owned enterprise. I am the Ministry of Trade and Industry. It has been existed for so many decades now. Okay. We basically what we do is that we deal in all the heavy equipment, ranging from the mining sector straight to the construction and then straight to the agri sector.
Okay.
Also, mechanization. You do renting of all the heavy equipment and also repairing of all government cars, not only government but for private entities also. Okay. That's what we do there. See, I buying Japan concerning heavy equipment. Ghana Heavy Equipment Limited, and that remember. Okay. I'm discussing so that we talk about Ghana Heavy Equipment Limited, and then you say a map on your marking who say photo no to Ghana for any no. And then they buy me.
Yes, I need to. Medasi. Abi with the lead them no head of corporate affairs Ghana Heavy Equipment Limited. And I would say in Ghana Kofi Abusua Penny, National Communication Team member for the NDC. Penny Kesi Atenasi. Abusua Kwaba.
You also.
I'm home today.
Body Adam now as well.
Thank you for that, Roma.
Good.
No, lady, you also your voice. The texture of your voice.
Yeah.
So what you now was you good.
I tell you. Lady Mikia, what?
Where you so? Nah, and this is for what then?
Oh, say, Yanko Ponyaduma, Omuya Moboji, Ogana Manfia Mambo, if we in them. Na said the house said near Macona, said near Maso de Danequem. Na Obadi Adam, Yankasu be a Waton. Never. Na yin to be Casa. And so said the Eden Matuto Quema till this would done what done a day. In Puntu Juma, the essay, you go so. Kwame Abujanam Kwanso. If you say Quantum Pony Nara, and then me who were motorway.
Yes.
Oh, inspection.
Now,
me terms was uncrim. Na one enam. Na senior bear among the Betumpong, a Greek minister, and so nam. Senior bear, young
Honorable Dr. Ekopoko.
Sir.
Okay.
A Greek minister.
Very well.
On also nam senior bear and young. Nam Tobanto Sonia debit me a gina, Magana mai, Mebun Swenya Jumayena, in young Ebuso. Finance minister, and so the near Matutunuquem, Senior Becoso. Na golden boy de ebeba sebu so
ami jam yes kwaya me da say enti member ho chabusia Kofi Abusia Penny the national communication team member edema eye NDC amanyoku no ana wote wono so no kana nti akase pa afen koma nana apia enti a otoso anan tutu akuapem hene ono anso no san ye eye atipim hene edema ukwapman traditional council ohene Nyankopon hira na onye okase nana apia a otoso anan tutu akuapem hene a wasan ye atipim hene edema akuapem traditional council me shase ede free abiu me ba ho na fe ene o say
edin kese
edin mu Obrempong yes no Obrempong SFO ajabi ma be God board controversies the minority Alexander Fenyo Marken ene Kojo Ponkroma abena say asare the entire minority eka good board aboka and then there are many what they can say the CEO Edema Ghana Good Board, the person of Sami Jenfi Esquire, government accountability series. Was a sans semi a minority neka say Good Board Ekano, a Yahudu rather sem, and Yano cre a neat fact in Nina Subia, sense me, then I will candy found.
Obrempong, my main Sanchia Ubium, na Minchia one. Director General via Oboy Jumapa de Moa and the Boa Ghana buying. In fact, John Mahama, one His Excellency the President, John Dramani Mahama, 1 point will be a call. There's Obama Institute says Ghana Heavy Equipment Limited. The CEO is doing so much marvelously. Osako Ghana Geological Survey Authority.
No, I haven't been there before.
Oh, Ghana Geological Survey Authority.
Invite me now.
Okay. One Director General, our head or more appointed at the coho. A friend Dr. Prosper Akaba.
Okay.
In fact, we say Ghana Geological Service Survey Authority. No, basically what they do there, no, or making sure say a higher too good year, a higher too good year, a higher say too good year, a higher say too good year. So basically, Sena Galamse Semono Abba Fomono Ghana Geological Survey Authority have played a significant role perfectly. It was a fight against Galamsey.
And the
they are the Ministry of and the Ministry of Land and Natural Resources.
And the form an inchemo Dunkwa.
They are really doing good.
They are next week Dunkwa of Galamsey Ekoso Hono. May team watch them. It's more what Monsha say, although I have your videos already. I may add one next week. May I'm on my penny John Dramani Mahamehu. Don't call fake. Me more place you Nyame adman next week me document information videos amenya. Me ba be you ha. O man penny John Dramani Mahama be. Say o to galam say ase. Na mo say dunkwa. Me ba ho. Enti yeko abi.
The Director General now war science institution. He is doing so much well. Oh yeah, dear Dr. Prosper Akaba. good juma maybe one of enyumbre we be amechia no you see mahama 1.2 will be akeko 1.2 amount for one is my ye juma no people who are eager to do their work and indeed the man is doing so much well. Ghana Geological Survey Authority.
Okay.
I mean sancha ya ofa also ochiao ofa ya tano. So nimpa.
Okay.
Also ochiao pa. In fact, good board in Semono say upon your marking say Kamije if you have to go to
Aboka 22 billion Ghana.
Yate boni bien yate. He said, let me tell you something, Obrempong. There is nothing wrong for you criticizing the government. What I believe in is there must be an opposition party, and that opposition party must be a party that can put the ruling government on its toes. Or say, I am not above criticism.
Yes.
So even His Excellency, the President of a Republic, for him, his doors are open for criticism
every day.
So it's good to criticize the government. Anything else you buy your opposition, we criticize the MPP government to put them on their toes. So there is nothing wrong. Say upon your markets to criticize us. But you know the issue. If you want to criticize somebody, say politics, politics, I say people are descending, people are enlightened. So if you are making certain comments, criticism, you need to make comment a holy waters. And your comment a hollow, comment a educative. But it look like Aponyo Markins and the MPP are criticizing this government with no fact, nothing, no education in it, be being just for political scores, just for what? Political power. That is not what opposition party must be like. Opposition party be your person criticize here. Criticize the government on basis a factual. There's nothing wrong for you criticizing the government. Begin say one.
But you must have evidence to substantiate your claims.
Your political student no no. It's like and now you are deceiving us. And now one is
okay.
Because the upon your mark is here, you are giving us factor a bit imagine us and then go. But share the analysis no be a good border boka trasa no sorry ko. It need to be questioned whether upon your mark is truly easy educating us. And I own your money goes on. There's nothing wrong with criticizing. Nothing is wrong. Wabeka say Sami Jefia to good aboka. Oboka no so no. What are the evidence basis benefits Sami Jefia to good aboka? So that me amitifie, ami nye NDC ni, ami nye MPP ni, ami nye floating voter no. Me di wechi. Wakane trust no wasori ako. Uyene sana you are tarnishing somebody's image. Ana wonim. Uyene sana you are tarnishing somebody's image. Uyene sana so na you are doing disservice to we the listeners. And that's how no yes and I say politics. It is very bad in our political dispensation. Because you see, akola 10 years kula to politics. I say, meboa akola 10 years. Obi sana say DNC. Akola 10 years, 15 years. Beti mama policy and this the buy. You get it? See, me de mehune say Aponyo Market is too desperate because of regional election course or no. And I know that there's going to be a shake in the leadership in the minority in parliament. That is why Aponyo Markets want to look relevant in the eyes of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so that we can reappoint him as the minority leader. Baby or the funny baby I saw the fa.
Or you know science no
anuntia.
But say obedi san komono every z in sama hodoa nya nyina so emfema ade na be ma say yenya say gidie no.
Abase ba unim no. You know this Aponyo Markets already. He's doing this gymnastics in that person or person or looking so nice to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and he has re-elected to be the minority leader.
But lying to the people doesn't make you nice.
That's what he believes in. But when him, I hear me say Aponyo Markets of all people are questioning Sami Jemfi this time around. I hear me and Aponyo Markets na board chairman for ECG.
Oh no, you're board chairman.
Oh no, you're board chairman for ECG.
Yes.
When will ECG for docket more reading losses on my when will be? When will be?
I think sir, me aware of 8.2 billion Ghana cedi. ECG for record here.
Me humble appeal and my humble advice to Aponyo Markets say he should just go on the low. Onye din. Na the done to us no. Nya de ketwa. Apollo Markins is calling for an equity. Obi Oko ECG as a board chairman of ECG. Otana and making sure say losses be by ECG. You are now questioning somebody who have rescued this nation. And the nation was going to the ditch. Do you know that the MPP even thought Ghana by this time could have crashed? And I want him. 88 MPs no mbabo until be catch the second for enter born home model no. Do you know the reason why they came out? They came out purposely because they know second for reactor was sending us to the ditch. So they were shocked when the economy have turned around again. All because of Sami Jemfi, Jumadiya Woye, and the Board Bank of Ghana, and the Board Finance Minister. It's in a dollar nanya huande sano.
Yes, no.
It's in a city nanya huande sano.
Yes.
You get it? You see, I am so disappointed in Aponyo Markins. It is not all the NPP leadership and the supporting the Aponyo Markins in you. True, I'm telling you.
But all representing the minority in Parliament.
And then we share our radio TV station. Nipa say only figures be a fact. Be only mathematics into but so be can one. If truly,
or
NPP, truly, get the Aponyo Markins again. If the NPP full soldiers were following it, like they will be supporting Aponyo Markins.
Yes.
I look like Aponyo Markins in Kwana or was some peculiar time be a Sami Jemfi. And I don't wanna. If you want to speak with fact.
Clearly
like a time or Kron almost Sami Jemfi. One, do you know why? When you say institution you are my friend the PMMC. When you say
Precious
Mineral Marketing Company. So when you say
yes.
I want to do 1995 more baby now. Purposely, what they were doing was that they buy good for Bank of Ghana, they trade in gold.
Yes.
And then Mahama, in his own wisdom, and who say, the purpose of the PMMC, no, enye juma, nyeman ko ye wo. So what I will do is that I will just change the name to Gold Board. Ni enfa another what, LIB bet attache. Neti ni bua na ye good ye na wo my with ma protect no. That is the formation of the Gold Board. Mahama woni all wisdom his excellency said there be enfa branch bi o nim okwadiro betima boa ama Gold Board na transforming very well. Yes, I mean FMC ano. And in fact, Baumia buy with an idea be a friend say gold for oil reserved. So okay.
Yeah.
The gold for oil reserved na Baumia the buy no. Do you know the institution now that was spearheading it was the PMMC. That was spearheading that for gold for oil reserve now. And let me let you know something say by 2022, I'm starting to be corrected.
Okay.
Almost as a Bank of Ghana, this is Kama PMMC, so onto good. No from Bromo, no money as a reserve, no from Kwamo, no. They were incurring losses. After 2022.
Under the MPP.
Under the MPP era. So, 2023, they bought 24 tons of gold and they get losses about 2 billion. Aponyo Markins say who no
2 billion Ghana cedis.
I'm telling you. The na Aponyo Markins say ka say tami je fia boka no ejuma na omo ye the same thing no at the PMMC 2024 they bought 45 tons of gold and they incurred loss about 3 billion. Inti wa woni say NPP die bibie ni wo metima yama na ye ama na ye fe. Transaction na mu ye na moto gold yiri sika ma mo se mo koto gold e fa Bank of Ghana no fa nye reserve no koto amo no ne no e kan kwa no mo bo Aponyo Markins wo hu no o si wo hu no ade e wo hu pe e na ye 2025 ye no hu ye se sa me ye boka no. And then the maye who said the PMMC under the MPP were making losses. Audit no mo ye ne maye who some omo ye losses anameboa.
But this time around too Aponyo Markins so kase from the IMF report
I'll get there. Forget about this man.
Very well.
The same institution no mo ye audit. Under the MPP era. As about Bonte by ye audit. Sami Jemfi Gold Board whereby 2025 no. The same thing no mo ye na Sami Jemfi so ye. Almost say no, Sami Jemfi and Bokebia, but he made surplus. And I'm who surplus bia o. Sa we anymore.
Yeah.
We share the audit. Mo ye Gold Board one. Page 16 the gold board are then and making surplus of what 5.50 making surplus of 5.4 billion. Upon you say oh sa audit na broni audit na we one at that juncture at that time last year in 2025 what was the core mandate of the gold board? The gold board was not having mandate to buy gold to the world market. And what they do is that the same procedure now more year. That was the same thing Sami Jenfi was doing. And the audits also tell us say Sami Jenfi rather make surplus. Upon you say who's idea no. Or see the Bronia catching and say gold board are making losses. You see, this is what we call blatant lie. Audit na mayehu say we making losses. The same audit is telling us that people have Sami Jenfi have made surplus. Osi no de ye into way and your tire aye and your tire aye. Let me tell you something. The gold board agenda have translated in our economy. Obienim. Under the MPP era, Ghana was ranked as a junk status. Because economy is junk. What you say?
Atitia proper.
A baller pa. Oye shye and then you say Ghana economy aye B into tobacco school no onye B onya adiana. Under the MPP era, they took us to about what 23 inflation. And and
I think around 2022 crane 54%.
What you see, I'm just giving because me say we mo 54 crore me don meja to.
The 23.8.
I recently na we buy na we gymnastics. What you say? And then you can say we are in the single digit inflation. Maybe one.
Yeah, I think 5.3 there about.
All because of gold board Juma pa omo yenti. Ye good year my way mo e Ghana for dia. I didn't say ye allow Indians, any the Japans, the Japanese, any this Chinese to be taken out. Ye good year for my way mo. Good year no so boa. That is it. How we get it? Okay. So gold board buy gold board have become a rescuer. Gold board have contributed massively to this beautiful economy.
Okay.
Nana say, under the NPP era, business were folding up. Say NPP folding the Biakra. Let me give them a typical example. Under the NPP era, na Kufo Gallon Angwa Frighton. Sorry for making advert for some people here. Na 1,500. And I'm good board Juma Pau Muye Ninti. I'm going to buy 500 good Ghana city and say. What did I say in the history of my way? So Automobiles Association of Ghana about Bonta catcher say or Matiti or Mukaso about 15%. What be that? I am this breso pay because of good board. I'm a dollar no sitting that bit dollar ninety. Now Automobiles Association of Ghana about Bonta catcher say ya $30 no hey. So let me tell you. After you the official say he want to look relevant.
Okay.
He doesn't. He argument no yeni nano. So what nas not any argument. Oh baby, or defa. Look at what he's saying. On cash you. And now ya obia. On got nas no listen. On tie audios no. Baby no your press conference. We say. Dien na autumn amaye. Dien na autumn amaye.
Huh. Bedasi Abiu Delete Mesaba, her head of corporate affairs at the Ghana Heavy Equipment Limited, and I was in Ghana. Kofi, I was here penny. I was here. Young quite good body in some the minority and they response are the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Good Board. What the government accountability series in so what the Ababe to get in nature saying some more Fenyo a Kenyano, a Yahudu rather some a yentro uni fact. Pacho de na kandia fasase me.
Ida sina if they mean far away free to nchia won we ahwefo ne wo adwuma yefo nyina na me ne kuma abi nso wichia no.
Very well.
He's doing well.
Nice one.
And I drove him on TV so. We are no coffee.
Just when if I
and the chief was in the Yenabia Hanabisiu, Doctor Louisa Hanabisiu Kote.
Okay.
I say ne kunu ɛna ɛyɛ kotɛ no
okay
na no serve US Navy was serve 25.5 years
wow
and about retirement inti Sunday twemi we ne retirement ceremony in collaboration with the Ghana Navy
okay
US officials and so by that is how they handle their people
nice
omo by ne East Legon so
wow
AF pa anti Dr. Louisa Hanabisio Kotei Unukunu Yamomutilinkwa
very well
na maame Hanabisio so no ye women's organizer NDC and now ono da Minerals Development Fund ano MDF why ya debia na de no ye no for about 1.5 years ni amanfo enka ho asem na yente ye
ene ye den
deliberately nipa wa employ won ho ne ewo eye youth wing of NDC
what from NDC mebunu
when you obi a wenyin wo
I trust Hannah Bisu I trust that lady
the woman is something
one of the greatest women in NDC la ho de ne ni so hye no abribia na edom konsi e benya ma bebresa wo politics mu a omoni beso be ye hyesa nti Dr. Louisa Hanabisu kotei wa hom
yes
yankopon nchira amempeda
na onipa wanyin wo eho no mpremprengi ye around 32-35 years
adwumanu mo no
yes so you can imagine what the future of the
wow
say no na combat aye woto no ne ankokorafo na afu dwengi na ntubanyen of dwing man paying of fuel. Can you imagine?
Hardens are striking.
Mutom, Muberane tore down some other tongue. Now, Brante, young man like this, and then Abedi actually, that is a Mustafa Alaji.
Yeah.
Abubakar.
Yo.
To me, I am says, well, to me, a recruit to 300 graduates, engineers, fresh guys from school.
Wow.
Yes. No do akuguto say yen train one for future. You see the mentality of NDC. Resetting agenda that ye can and Crawfontiasen. These are the things. And look at Sami Jemfi, the golden boy. Any power employ one over 407. Yes, people
and still counting.
Yes. Oh, young guys. Young guys.
Okay, age in where I said, I don't know, Obi comment on me who on social media. Also, under the MPP and Alhaj Mahmoud Baumias economic management team. Now, what can and paying full for Boma one age in about 300.
300 is 300 is because I know football age in what you only show. You see, and these people are managing the country. Look at Atoforsen, just 48 years.
Yes. Wow.
And look at what he's doing. Look at them. Look at Okujeto Abrakwa. These are the things.
Foreign Affairs Minister.
Yes. Yedenyamiase. Na
Orefi Eduji Tamaklo.
Oh, onone de your friend stamp.
Lawyer Eduji Tamaklo.
Onone de stamp.
Fantastic guy.
Na unim.
Yes.
Yakase obi ni tia bobiu
Edmond Combat.
Yeah.
To
no na me kind no. Combat ni na be de achiri Mustafa. On na me kind say we to recruit 300 young engineers akoguto.
Fantastic.
Any power for one water no nko no e 1520.
Wow.
E water. So tiase. Iti, what if you want now ba Edo Jitamakula? Go there and go and see the young.
MPA hono.
Only apart from few and okra what to me ama yenye bi. Because upon the SC international Iran no. Still, India for salai, Kenya for salai, to fuel, South Africa for salai to fuel, Indonesia, and in the but still,
Ghana for salai.
Be. Nedo Jitamaklo ebo ye kan na assembly abeto metim. Unim say last week me ba me ya appeal be say yem papa Ibrahim Kumsen.
Yeah.
Na ne ba hu mfa no. Be bi odane na enye. no kware wo nyame anim America ana lawyer Edoji Tamaklo MPA boss otu America and okoso won asing.
Wow.
Financially a huge me make us a huge I say huge
jumper.
Emma papa no look at the age of that papa ne where if any suit papa no 81 years. Yes. Inti lawyer Edoji Tamaklo nyame nhyira and wasefo nyina. David Akujide where with them on the minua on Oba Eastern Region chairman currently on deputy organizer.
Okay.
Nti medase ne aka no actually ebebu bosa din ni nyina.
Mama Lee
Woteshi.
Girls perfect.
Yes. Ono de oye ba ko pe.
So Woteshi aboma.
Na woni me say ka Mama Lee pe. E say me ka Elizabeth Agbenowusi. Ono ye chief revenue officer. Ewo customs. Ono no on the workout was a revenue bia ba here no de akekere man ni. She obe sacrifice. Nti ya damu nyina ase. Ubo obi din a asem ne beba biem. Onim Obrempong
abusami tie opa.
Kuro bia preko nation ugban pupuya bia soro se wa dosrade. Kuro so onim se preko de odosrade pa. Nti kuro a preko nation e wono ugban pupuya onim ugban pupuya wo de se hu ko say ugban pupuya eno ne Ubanga abrechi ontumi nyin bo so waye dupan
as a kosho kaka.
Yes. Na no waye poto na no to nyina asai. Ono no ofre no gwan pupia na kuruwa preko nimon sa
gwan pupia
enini mami misaw hina no hye ne yiri gwa na ne yiri kwa atwa sika no de ama no onko spend ya sa no watu bi edigwa
obe spend it.
You spend mami bisaw hina no to car mo bi so mfanya work and pay a on fele car ne ma no
o fele in the tank ne nyina
eyeka
o de koye adwuma
no abeye sales amount na ni ade na ya umfa nsungum so umpeka uchirika intinka wo de car ne ma no a wo de wawie no abe maso no de nsu aguma yi afi ufi wo bede sani nyansa se wo de bobi atenase a wo so no mu ye ansa na abofra de wo wo na obewia ansa na wo betutu no wanantew ansa na wotu agwan inti wo obi agwa sana inti gold board and a Bank of Ghana and only responsible for physical stability and those things. And we say, Muma Juma Muyeno, and young Faso Dede. Now, so as I said, Miss Soma sing. Namu found Koto Godo, no cotton. Nam Faso Ba, some Faso down with the Bebano. And only had the best show. Yen Sidi no. Nama Sidi na more than one go na, my wife had to
dollar.
Yen Sidi. Dollar na buru sidi no
egwa sidi na
obe gwawo no ma why hetu inti da na do ankasa beji to mu say ye sidi na ye hata inti no and wo ye ya no kofa gold for oil e buy say nank wo de be ye no won asum nanka sidi na ye dan agina but wo pre enyina you know why ne omu ye ne say na wode saade no wonu any opportunity bia ye a avenue for chop to steal
oba just say good for you know never be cool man crop diska
they are investigating it all forensic audit ye mu aduma na sami je fi boss attorney general ni team aseda seti a year we investigating. They see every opportunity, say, an avenue for stealing. So what they did, they say, what the year galamsey, what the year stealing, what the year behavior, I want a wooden ya, one sika. Inti sa wohwe ya gold a wode fa wo nyina koton bae no still dollar na ntube nyina. So what you say? And then maybe me bu baby wa say so woni man kwafum se bokodo wa okodo eburofu ana say ebrodefu hu a eden na besi
eno betimi ama ya jatumu the enera ya the general overseer of the Action Chapel International
meba ho
okay enena metro
won ye cartel and what you gold for oil no what the US Ghanaska no eye krono and abang etwam ne boy MPP amanyoku eye fi penensu kosi abofra so that was what they did. Do you know why? Papa bi betena krom ha oswo frɛ no Alista Matthias on fi krom ya no be business wa ha and obey business wa African countries see most of them asemo ka kire ne say na do the other na go deal
on the president of
he said it of course kai wo Al Jazeera for na ye omo secret no friends expose and what the camera hidden camera e ko record no
no so not the then president of the republic
no enti asema me kai obi antie ni ye eno na nam so ema executive secretary of the president the then president Asante Bedi atwo koma Al Jazeera say on draw no apologize and Al Jazeera say on redraw ne on redraw China baby opebia won fa up to date on follow case ni biem and they even directed them say some person mu chiro bi so on redraw at least no can say monko so ya no they couldn't and they never deny sa kwano mon to be am friend no kura so redraw na asem no kan no $40 million every month. Report about Omangimu. Masa, this Omangimu, these people, and when they speak, you have to be careful. MPP. Okasa wo de tobo na hyehyɛ nneɛma ne ye. Won se beba be so. Wo cartel that good for oil no. So be kaya Indian fukurampo. Wo se reporter eba wo nkurom ne say na Ghana say I export oil a gold about $1 billion. So there you go da ba yankuro me about $6 billion. Now some few years ago reported by they say about $6 to $11 billion worth of gold echo aborichira yeah it's unaccounted.
O mine nyamfa so
ye nyamfa so ye nim krofo kwa export of gold no kwa through smuggle. Enu na aban hwe ya no se dabi ya infom su bebre into this gold in the by no gold board na ya ma gold board no to me na see you better so no when ya hoden a parliament amanamra or the be adwuma enu na same jamfi buy oye inti niete de say san krofu kululu na woye deal no wode mpenefu bi eye gold for oil no wodi wi Ghana scan wodi wi Ghana gold no wonya biem asabina siedi o wo so ukona nkrofo beenu kuntokwa wa wodi jai pata won kura bi sa wonse da no dey asem na nam so anamfo mabekoi tese sas wehina no
smuggling na
wo ye no afie twa na tie me baba catch no ni tie so atwa de say wonya biem ti so hwe ya measures some feed the golden boy e do tutu kwan mu no or start na makoma no catch say foreigner bi obeka so obeto gold no through gold board so wanye ni ehun gold bi awo ho a we smuggle a ya beje
emra bi ti
nti so hwe ya chichiri Indian fu bi ni ade
yes and China fu
ni ade obi o so the gold ko bi ade a chire and now the miracle was obi obetuma report to be ano who percentage
sure
am immigration for ya 1%. And immigration they are watching we get 1%.
Okay
so ti say iti sanyema we nyina smuggle ne tuatwa no enna san krofo na ye businessmen no ne shake fu na wo mu no won akọ contract MPP for na sami je fika assemble won ka say MPP fumpo o se sa Federal Markets in the team o se nye the whole MPP because nye MPP fu nyina na ye involved in this e ye nkrofo bi a cartel
and where you say Juman. Wong na shake fo. Any business guys now, one business now. When you go to free and was smuggle fi krom ya no, and jai your season no, yes one no kwan. Into one penny my gold board, and some major few da. Anything I will be good and you must be disgrace, no. No will be two sa gold board on no home pay. And my president taka so any may is a major and fear no one anya kwan. Anyone won't crop for another one, so that they can compromise the one who will come. Because some the man cannot be compromised. What happened in ye? As I'm not seeing you. It is a shake for an alcohol contracting a minority in an profiteer. The first attack by any figure upon Kurabao. I know Kotu, World Bank, no, it's a gold board aboka. So bekaya ye gidi ena kwadwo pon kuruma kuriara sami je fi challenge ni se wo se ma boka brani enye debate wo TV so radio so one on one da sami je fi ko news file kwadwo pon kuruma gane wa ma ofi won no kwotena UTV one on one ena UTV abena chei ebisa ne se wona wo se gold board aboka o se men cars aye.
I remember, I think December last year, no, yes, your friend is saying press conference.
Yes. Could you punk Ruban what did start?
Yeah.
And the fed you who said not Pascaro or no could deny with UTV also on Casa, a cheerful semi, or some make a Nimam Kanchebe.
And I think on that very show, Krano, the food and agric minister, Honorable Kupoku.
Afraid no bisa say ah kwajo ponjoma no kasa
no say there be
yes
I remember
so just say it he denied it wona na de no hwe ase kukudu boy tekpo nkwagni ye de be fufu na say inti kwajo de yes o twe ne ho afim ena abena o say sare me pacho asemi hia me pa mama menka me wie sisi a abena o say esare muni ono so be any mini position former deputy finance minister meboa
yes
ono so de be hwe so say gold board aboka 22 billion Ghana fo be kaya enna mu fra bibi also fact check
yeah
wo ko check no and was a force. What checking was a force pay and no quietly immediately my men me yida no biem ewura no bese sabri me pese me hwe nanka me kan me nim se modelity ana because I intentionally screenshot it and I made it to na and no quietly na ya tidiem and abola bed so ndo obesom
bia odibi ina no bola bed bia
odibi woni bola bed
dabi
adibi obedibi onu so ye rene nam togbe afenyo markings onu di oso no ye kinkon nti obeje eno na me ka kire say fei na asem na okofa bai na bem say obeka ya osofo panyini Duncan William Sunday e ka asem bi say gold board na ho ne ye mompai ma no na shake fu bi aka asem a kire my refill so over 6 to 11 billion if you come to here unaccounted for $11 billion worth of gold equity ya muhu kontai into occasions a shake fubi aba na wongadi awoye ne say they want to bring down gold board into ye mompai ma gold board ne mompai ma sabeja fi na fe ye mompai ye money sector send ye be ya sa galam safe no so won wo be jai. So if one say 1 + 1 is 2, and a 2 + 3, I don't see I 5. Who can go by 7? Inti sanke kabumi na no ene hu say okwana na nkrofu peso wo yeni inti ye pa yorofo
ana afenwa
akwaje enye biribia o eye pa yorofo na tie sameja fika asembi me afenyo market me enye me wawa 2015 ono ani e before or tape he's on tape okwaje almost 10 billion o sai o series
ano de den
okoko di asem okoko di ayi amu friend say ezibe ya boa ono fa no lawyer ɛna ɔkɔ compromise na ɔkɔ crime the tape wɔ record no so ɔba bɛ compromise sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ case ne kɔkɔɔ taa wɔbɛtu agu na kyɛ sɛ wɔagye ha na wɔagye ha ɛna ade no paae na tie ɛni mo bere no a mode ma yɛ ani sa 5 o'clock na yɛ start 1 hour pɛ I mean mohwɛ tie afɛdwo markins adwuma ɔyɛ na me so ɔyɛ bɔla bɛɛde no na nneɛma ɔyɛ no sɛ ɔyɛ paayorofo no wakɔ akɔgye na shakefo no ɛne businessman no sika ɛne wakɔ akɔgye na ɔyɛ a ɔgye wɔ ha na wabɛgye wɔ ha nti na deɛ ne sɛ nkurɔfo baanu na ntuma anya a ɔno bɛtumi ayɛ saa paayorofo no bɔla bɛɛd adwuma no nti samegya mfi asɛm ɔkae no sɛ tie ɔsɛ afɛnyo markins continuing antics must therefore be seen as they are a desperate smear campaign by persons who are specialized in sophistry and political blackmail in pursuit of selfish ends. These are devious extortionists. This is how Sammy describe him. A devious extortionist. Obia oka owura nkrofo koje wiska. A devious extortionist who will come at you with lies to tarnish your reputation in the hope that you will fold and settle for what they call, in quotation, compulsory arbitration and oil their palm. But Sammy say, wallahi, this time around they found a wrong target killer in Tia.
And you're the golden boy.
Oh, golden boy, dear. Where you are supposed to know? Some name Guase. I am who was a winning bafo. A futufu. And that's who my way doing any as a leader. Na parliament. And you want to say Baumian and Nitim Babesan. And you want
Baumia.
Oh, forget it.
We are still live on TV XYZ and Power 97.9 FM inside politics. Jumedi Sine Kufia Busia Penny out in Kansas City and a national communication team member of the NDC. My main council Victory Garlic Mr. FM Mount. So we will be a we are the Kakra no bread no akoma airbo. We will be on Sunday on 983 pa. We will be a dizziness night to Wabrabo. Copet Victory Garlic Mr. Nanum. Ewura wuntinimu ewura nipaduanum ewura baby biara SCCM amojanko emma wonu mu toso ma odidi ama ohutimi to na nipadua ye from Kai National say Aniana Enterprise for the Victory Garlic Mr. no aba adwaman so ukọ kan shi Kings Walk a obenya dro bi ato na mu wo pharmacy shop and a herbal shop now pe Victory Garlic Mr. bi ato a for number 72 ja no bejo so ama obi etu atom 0201-293-280 0201-293-280 ana 0242-545-603 0242-545-633 now on set me aka Victory Garlic Mr. Eye Aniana Enterprise for the Abedra man so be corner for when you kwhwe Safari Valley Eco Resort awusia ehwo ye fema uwura ho kane anya obeka se wo abrechiri kwan o mafa so create man made lake a wo ne ho kane betimi atena so boat ketu abisi so na mo de agimani wo bra mo koda ho agima ho me kwan o mafa so create harmless zoo emo ewo mu nyina no wo feed bi na oni bi di agro na ye kama the green nature dan o masisi emu fe enuane pe wo ho a obedi ma wakoma ato yem Safari Valley Eco Resort na me kanfo ede ama wo no nko a wanya holiday wo vacation na wo ne ho kafo monko na monko gye ma ho ho na mo ba mbe frɛ akasa mpa Obrempong wa kyerɛ yɛn baby pa sɛ obɛyɛ yie obɛyɛ wedding obɛyɛ party company pe baby a conference Kai National Safari Valley Eco Resort wo mo spaces ahodo a wo mo de ma na dwumadi a obetimi adi wo bia na wadi no wo kama Kai National so mo kwapema mu Miami Chrome edukrom akuapem ene akugwa akuapem patem ho ana omubutu a omasiesi omho fefefe fre number me di tu dwa no sensem amakan yina no penkyeremu bia ansa na wakɔ hɔ a omo de besomo na afi wakɔ hɔ nom na wankasa de wani akɔhwɛ luxury a ɛwɔ Safari Valley Eco Resort number betima from was 0596914394 0596914394 and visit your website no www.safarivalleyresort.com koma akabia oni omudia omo beje wo so ye to ye ndwumadi ni so na me ko abiu de let them ho na afi ya to ye nkomo no so no abiu ora ekoso legal vacation ho nsensɛm ɛkɔ so a MPP a lawyers ni bi atwerɛ nkrataa de akɔma the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, Justice Paul Bafo said there be legal vacation kɔ so ade na judges ni bi miemi ɔmo kɔn sɛ wɔn mmra court by force any accountability ho nsɛm a Ghana for ehwɛ nim then na wɔka de afa sɛsɛ
Obrempong, the last message Emma Aponyo Marcus and say I have a quotation for Aponyo Marcus. One, Aponyo Marcus is trying to audit good board with magic hat. But let me tell Aponyo Marcus that no matter how many times he waves his head, the imaginary losses refuse to appear. Oh yeah, denkura losses appear da. Losses bang. Losses now also what imaginary had now the year no. So person losses in the bano by compulsorily the losses is not coming. What did I say? Compulsorily emba. Say aura and vacation, legal vacation sem. Me de mefa aura there. It look like a man for doing say any amount for but the NPP. Modern say aura is not in existence. Share Obrempong. Idea me create chiri pan bako pan na corruption. Do you know why?
Maybe.
Upesa o create corruption na edu anadwo adu enwumbre ana anadwo ana nopa. Ko if anything 37 military hospital.
Yes.
And now what do you call Kolebu? Ne ko jina ho na hwe de yekoso wo. How people are suffering because of low birth syndrome. Mebwana. Look at the amount of money we lose against corruption. Ewo my way. Enye sika ketu wa. Obrempong.
Yeah.
Enye sika ketu akura.
So gold nko akura no said ye abusia kan almost $11 billion every chrome na
adia ya no mu ye o my way mu he. Obrempong.
Yes.
What the MPP was doing in this country. Ese weni ense o ka kire. I didn't know ye wa corona e koso wo my way mu under the MPP era no nye kro ne ketoa. Kobra ni ya ma wo sika difficulty wo do na mu. Etimi dis kan go mpaase. Me bo ana. Kobra ni ya wo mbo bra bia da. Ko hwe da wo mutisi egu ho. Just small position e dey ma wo. Say wo dey a common fan bi keke, hwe so keke. Ye o ye so hwe ye nka se hwe sika no so mbo. Wo ye secretary keke. Look at what they were doing. Odi ehwe nkola duane so, eduane keke buffer stock eduane keke hwe so keke. Look at how people were making money out of it. In the movie, people are calling for equity. Say and
accountability.
Obrempong, Aura is really working. Say Ghana for Nima. In fact, for the MPP for Monima. The MPP just came to destroy our institution. They created economic manhole. You can say economic manhole. All the aspect of the economy, the MPP dig a hole. They put us into the hole. Education sector, and you chronicate one course. Health sector, and you chronicate one course one of the MPP era. Look at energy sector. Near my course power energy sector. In your market, wow. You may cost
no a car abanya babesia over $1.47 billion for the energy
IPPs.
Yeah.
Oh, light no ground want to survey. Obi catcher was say on there. She will share the state of the nation in 2015. Obi paragraph 3. Mahama can pay fee. Or say we have been here before in the 90s. Kufo buy or the toy generator and buy according to Rekubebe Anameboa.
Yes.
Oh no kona make Anameboa. Toy generator. What you solve the problem? It took His Excellency John Dramani Mahama first time. Odia Mary, Amanda, Absa, Sankofa. And Asa also the Atuabu gas at the face so some with my generating power my
Atuabu gas almost saying CBO.
Easy. Yeah. Mama, you send me winning now the go once and no free so. Oh, we are not there, but yet let us create a funny Esla.
The energy sector.
I go say. Can for it and say Gumu Sandy, this can in a man sign. Oh, we also this can go see our fun, no fun, nothing can be any mono, Futuano Cosia, Jessica Sandy can spelele. You finish and tell us that you don't need aura. We are harassing you. It look like the we are here MPP for it like lenient. Exactly because the real they were not lenient to how they were chopping the money, but we want them to be lenient to them. They are calling for vacation, legal vacation. But the same way, the NPP don't need any legal vacation. The way they chop the money, that be the same way I say treat you. Seriously, the way they chop the money. Israel used to come. Some kofa abo aba for the foundation to for the national cathedral. Chebi the spirit in him. Chebi the kurum the spirit in him. Chebi the spirit in him. Me da say habi. Debio atwa mountain the spirit in him. Israel. Israel and a spirit boom. Look at how we are suffering as a nation. Now we meet tam Ghana ti cathedral die. Sami je fika yenti. We can say uko crab buy as a foundation stone. You sink our money. Nobody's against cathedral. Abi umidasi. Obieni wa against the cathedral. Obieni wa against the cathedral. Obrempong. The NPP have really destroyed this nation. Really destroyed this nation. And every day. And you say you Kufu. But look at Kufu do buy no. Let me say, I used to ask myself, say, Nanka car, taxi, Kia morning, you told me Kufu so on train on tia. Nka say no be Ghana. Sika de Katoka mo say the tree, net say, work and pay, Trinet ne faka, no ka say, and obey Chika.
Abiu Deladem, a head of a public corporate affairs, Edema Ghana Heavy Equipment Limited, and our tenant can Abusia. Ora some legal vacation.
Oh, Abi wa kanu. My main me gold board here me.
Gold board na.
Before ni ane nampa wa paso masa. Bola be de juma wa ye na see man hu say bola so anu be didi. Oye voucher.
You 3 minutes.
We voucher wa juma wa na obe ye hu adwuma tie. Minia. And na me no ka say afenyo markings. Hwa afenyo markings pompo e kire wo motoyam. Onu tumi nya akokoduru 13. Sami Jenfi. Enra. Eka chen say, it's say good board no leadership no. One year ready to face a scary a bail condition. What you say?
Or better now what the bail can say ato
no sweat so maybe him. And then Sami Jenfi yinano. What's that say you be akonya a man enemy ko yirada na wakoko tenanse fufu yase
I do sa combination
I no nenga nti unya ye na efe ubuwa wa hwani ya sabi ubeja wo nan ewo ho. That's what he's doing. And why afenyo markings akoye na efe de sabi wakọ ya beta
enyirani amanga wo
no de mekoyira wa eguso now they are cancer fu and then sabi je fika kire anya pamuan bi no anya man na twa yira aguso no de bom no wa renchene no dem se wawie. That's what he did yesterday. Tie binia and na me no ka say gold board you see ade ye wo ya okura ne say and nam Sami Jenfi so and anya stability e wo ye economy no. Yes, of course. Inflows no one mo be 1.7 billion and on the 17 billion abeshem wutu fi man sese kan ye 15.3 billion uso wa boka eno na awon no sese na economy na gina na ato forcing ekogina parliament e boss Sami Jenfi abaso na president esuko gina public no boss Sami Jenfi abaso say ni nyuma pa oye no eno na ama gold board ama Ghana economy no ye dollar CD to dollar etumi China ema economy ne kosotrote man krofo a epe dollar kokra ne oma na basa biema asa enye bibia ayahoya skin pain but Ghana ni bia tie mi a ntie ni ye me say one mo bi sika 1.7 billion dollars or the akwa for 17 billion dollars aba me ma me a wutie me papa wutie me nena me nuanom nketwa eye kana mudu mu amunya no asem ne etetia o obi wa mamisika 1.7 billion and na media akwa 17 billion aba media ye adwuma nya so mfa so Yesu Kristo kura ma talent ba nipa 3 oba ko de ne di ye adwuma 3 no onya hombo ho no onya 2 no odi ye adwuma onya hombo ho 5 2 5 2 1 no onya 1 na de ko share form they said you are gold for oil no also you nipa ni wicked into one fan ko to jata na em medama se etiefo muma ye mompa ma nyankopon enhira same jamfi no nhyira Ghana mai eye John Mahama ne na mamu ne yemfa Ghana emfi bebi e wo no enko na yenya nipa se no koso a Ghana betumpo medama se
bibia na eye Kofi Abusuapani wakana sa kama kan Kofi Abusuapani national communication team member for the NDC na Kofi trillion the torture e wo tutu akuapem o so hwe pa nti o chia oye pa no so NDC branch secretary e wo tutu akuapem
ba ho
china be ko tutu
china me ko
definitely mo be shia
china me ko
abi the let them head of corporate affairs Edema Ghana Heavy Equipment Limited Penikasi so ebekan sa abi ye da se abusa ha na brema kwan na ne dey so ye de dwumade ni nyina abano awie ye inside politics dwumade ana ye de esom no wokọ MCR Mr. Raf Jampo director ho sanso na Mr. Emmanuel Neti Abbas wo mu nyina e wo MCR no mo hihye TV ni so ma wo na utimi ehwe dwumade bi lizine makeup ewo fidie mu Kofi Asante Francis Prince Ofosu ena gina cameras na chi etwa adwumadie we edesom ye Mr. Kelvin Asante wono ni mi producer papa o hyehyɛ adwumadie nyina sɛ memra na medi ho chia me friendsum abusuam idin de anke Obrempong the grassroots president okuapeman kane atutu akuapem de hye Nyankopɔn enhyira wa mempene da sɛ wogye brɛ sɛ nenso ye ni sɛ adwumadie FM mom sabre de news team na ready esɛm aka gina wo mo de ba besom wo kyena me ne wo bɛsɛ hyia makrao